Damn, it's like legal some places. Like they got whole industries and shit. Motherfuckers working in the weed, fucking.
I'm a working fucking man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it,
I've been working for
Colorado?
long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is it, Colorado? Like,
Mm-hmm. I
yeah,
could
they,
be out here having goddamn child porn going on through my house. Leave me alone. I'm just home chilling.
yeah, like,
You got other motherfuckers out here you should be worried about.
yeah, really.
Truthfully, on this street, I'm probably the last person they would ever have to worry about. Every
Let me,
street, every neighborhood, damn near in this country is
let me
starting to
go over
spread.
there and shit. Let me move over there and shit real
There's
quick.
one Israelite in that community that lives in that neighborhood or that area.
Yeah, so we got dialogue with the good brother. I'm on the YouTube joint. But we was talking about the women, man.
Shalom online for those that's up there.
Yeah, we was talking about the women, like, and like I was talking to the Messianics, and they was just straight going in. And I don't know how Torah only brothers feel about it. I know with all the stuff that Paul talks about in the New Testament, them brothers meditating in that. It's like what I'm
Day and night.
saying. Keep her mouth shut, like she ain't even permitted to speak.
You know
And
what's
she
funny
want
that
anything and
them
all that.
brothers do meditate in the New Testament day and night
Uh-huh.
and
What?
still don't know the Torah?
Yeah, well, man.
How can you go hard for a man that told you to go back to the teachings that your brothers is telling you to go back to? That same man told you, I did not come to destroy the teachings, but to fulfill them. But he never come to do that.
Well, I mean, I see it all the time where they got the little, the New Testament brothers. I go into their room. They got this thing called Pal Talk. It's like on the computer,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like it's a room full of 40, 60, 100 people, and they talking about a particular topic. The person will, name the topic a certain thing. They go to a certain, section.
That
But
sounds like church.
yeah,
Is it like TBN?
no, this right here, you can go to politics section, African American section, karaoke section. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool. But the thing about the New Testament people is, you know, one thing one thing about being in Alicia's classes was Brother Dan, and I got a couple of his videos up. Brother Dan was my favorite Moray, even though
Mm-hmm.
most people's favorite was Moray Alicia. Mine was Brother Dan, and a couple other people was Brother Dan. And I really think you know one has to, even though Brother Dan was not the one that kind of beat up on the New Testament or got people away from the New Testament.
He was the elder you can relate to?
No, he wanted the other I relate to. Everybody knew Brother Dan for being a flamethrower. And what I mean by flamethrower is he would tell you about yourself, about your sins.
Shots
If it,
fired.
it don't matter if it was a yeah, for real. And he would call people out. He'd be like, "Well, whenever I talk about stealing, certain brothers always get up and walk and go to the bathroom." I'm like, "Where you going?"
Oh, you calling it
Whenever
out.
I talk about a tail bear, all of a sudden sisters gotta
My
go in the back.
My baby in the diaper change.
So, but the thing about it is, that's the whole duty of man is to keep the laws, though. You know what I'm
What
saying?
laws? 'Cause some brothers out here are picky and choosy.
I mean, but at the end of the day, it's the law. Period. You know what I'm saying? Some people are gonna say, we not in the land, so we got the Levitical laws, and we don't do all of them. We just do this. People.
One thing we never consider is a moral law. The law amongst brotherhood. Every nation on earth is divided, but we are divided with no brotherhood. And there's a law on how we deal with each other. Could that be the reason that we're not able to sit amongst each other and discuss serious
Man,
matters?
that is. Even for instance, people always talk about why the Arab and the Somalian and different other people, why they can, have their own little spot, in the they had their own little spot in the black neighborhood, but why can't we get along with that?
I think the curses I think most people in Israel are in denial of the fact that they're cursed or possibly going through cursed situations or scenarios. There's a time and a place for everything, but there's a time for us to acknowledge what we don't want to acknowledge, which is our worst fears. Some will say your um your mistakes is your greatest teachers, or your failures is your greatest teachers. But that doesn't apply to black folks because we haven't learned from the damn thing that we've done.
And that's why I want to double back on what I was saying about the the Arabs and the Ethiopians and the Somalians and the whatever type of Oriental you want to name. I believe that in their culture, it's the same thing as our laws, where it says that love your brother. And when it says love your brother, it's not talking about everybody.
Right.
I think we got this with philosophy, love the world,
But
and
do black folks love black folks?
that's the whole thing.
No. So I think that particular scripture would apply as love your brother and understanding. That brother knows the creator like you know the creator, but no other man around you that's even your biological brother knows the creator. Always remember David's brothers. Did they know Yah like David? Did they come to understand the Most High like David? Why did they get skipped over and they chose him? Because those are men of prominence. Like we got men in Israel, the leaders, they were all of a brotherhood of prominence. How come the Most High hasn't chosen them?
And you know what? You know what was crazy? David's father was like. David's father was like, you know, okay, what about this son? He didn't know. He couldn't recognize.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He couldn't recognize what the Almighty was recognizing. How do you see that? But that's the whole thing about it. When we in captivity, we dress like them, we talk like them. Same holiday, same flag, same outfit. You know, same
We celebrate
everything.
that we're
Same
supposed
language.
to do on their calendar.
So, how can you identify a brother? It's kind of like, you know what I mean? When Somalian come out, they come out with that big hijab on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they can identify each other. They can say, well, then they can speak the same language to each other. So in a melting pot that we're in, they can identify who their brothers and sisters are. And that's the whole, we can't identify our brothers and sisters because, what? Just because they speak the language and...
It's a language we forgot. The Creator did say he'll cause us to forget. And we forgot everything. And we woke up yesterday and thought that we remember. And we don't remember because we haven't humbled ourselves. Any person that can remember things of the past like that knows that what they came out of, there should be understanding there. In other words, did you learn anything from your mistakes or the mistakes of your fathers? You ain't gonna do the same thing your father did. There's a whole lot of hang-ups amongst black men that we gotta learn to get over, and some shit you just gotta put on the back burner.
Bro, you said something that was real deep, and you kept going. And I was like, boom. You know what I'm saying? No, but you were saying that, you know, we did not humble ourselves, and that's why we don't remember who we are or our, you know, our national things of that nature, right? But I was thinking to myself, yeah, and that's the truth. That's the 1,000% truth, because that's why, like, even when it comes to language and saying the Almighty's name or something, we all got it confused. We all saying it different. We all trying to pronunciate the words different. We don't have it all the way together. The Almighty didn't give it to us because we're not keeping these laws. Like, you know what I mean?
We were told not to learn the ways of the heathen or follow their practices, and everything we do is heathenistic. Not hedonistic, but heathenistic. Our thoughts are heathen. We stress over our work. We don't give thought to our own kids. We stress over everything that the Father told us not to stress over. He's got that. We became like them. They stressing over their pensions and 401k. Now we stressing over that. Damn, how am I going to keep the lights on? Was you thinking about that when you didn't have lights last year? Who kept them on? The Most High. You didn't have no money. Niggas wasn't fucking with you. You didn't have no food. Nobody was coming by, but you still lived. The same way they lived when they was in the wilderness, not eating. The Most High said that man should not live by bread alone, right? But every word that proceeds out of my mouth. But we don't we don't listen to what he's saying. We're too busy reading it. You can read it, but is he talking to you? That's why we all read the same scriptures, but we all ain't reading the same scripture. Some are connected, some aren't. Have you humbled yourself yet? That's the gateway. That's what a discipline. Discipline is supposed to humble you so that you can receive something.
And you know, let me tell you how I absorb what you're saying.
He said, accept your discipline. There's life on the other side of it.
Alicia taught a lesson, you know what I'm saying, a minute ago, and he was talking about the difference between, and I never forgot it. I always remember this. He talked about the difference between knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Yeah.
And you know, he talked about the knowledge. You know, that's just the information part.
Yep.
The wisdom is the fear, y'all. But you know what I'm saying, when you talk about wisdom, it's putting the knowledge to the point where knowledge where you can actually apply it.
How did you learn to fear the Most High? What made you wise? Was it your trials with the Most High? Was you Jacob wrestling with the Torah, bumping your head, falling 7, 8, 9, 10 times before you realized that I have to humble myself to this word?
Well, it's just the fact that you realize it. You know, like for instance, I realized it. It's not the fact. Okay, the wisdom, the fear of the Almighty, right?
Yeah.
But that you have to learn the fear of the Almighty. You learn what it is.
That's the beginning of wisdom.
That's the beginning of wisdom. But see, like I said, that's the whole thing. Understanding is what he taught too.
Right.
Understanding is not everybody doesn't have understanding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He said you can be a great and wise king, but you're a foolish one if you don't heed or sense warnings or danger.
Okay, and heed them, right?
Right.
Whoa, hey, hold on. Where you get that from? That was right. But hold on.
Thank you, honey.
But that's exactly what you said it without saying it. That's what understanding is. Understanding is to actually do the wisdom.
Right.
It's an action word.
Right.
You don't like, okay, for instance, you got bad.
You can't just sit here and
yeah.
say the Most High gave understanding to Saul, or he gave not Saul, he gave understanding to who is it? His son, David's son, Solomon. He gave understanding to Solomon, but even with Solomon, with all the understanding, he still made mistakes. Even though he had understanding, he walked with the Most High. That was a time of peace for Israel.
Yeah.
But his lack of understanding, yet he had all understanding, caused him to sin, because he still did stray with understanding. We do that too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of men even walking to this day that have understanding, but that don't make you wise. And having wisdom don't make you have understanding.
Well, definitely.
He'll take a child and said, I'll make a child more wiser than his elders. Because a child's willing to listen. An elder refuses to take heed to instructions. That's why our fathers died in the wilderness.
Daddy, he just fell. But when he was trying to hit that thingy chair, he just fell.
Sorry, y'all.
He just fell like he was
It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. That's wisdom. That's knowledge. And for somebody to even perceive what you were doing, there's understanding in it.
Yeah.
Every day, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is put before us. The question is, yeah, he went right for the water.
See what I'm saying?
Can we pause for a second?
No.
I'm gonna see if I can put a top over. But if you see that, that's dirt. That tells you that he's stupid. You see what he just tried to do? He pulled the bricks off of there.
But he's like, nah,
Watch
yeah.
your cup.
That's a little, no, it's not good for you.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, can you take him in the house, please, please, please?
Yeah.
Just so we can finish the conversation. Matter of fact, ask your sister to give him a treat up there.
TK, Kirar!
Come on. Oh yeah.
TK, Kirar!
Yeah.
Can you get this dude some treats?
You come too, man.
Yeah, conversation with the good brother. Just building. Y'all already know who is the person out of all of the Israelites around the way that show love to all the family, even the Messianic family. Even though as me, the unity goes, right? I'm the one that can beat up on the New Testament like it's like none other. You know what I'm saying? Of course, a lot of people can do it because it's easy to do. But of course, I could really beat up on that shit. And I refuse. I don't do that. I got a lot of different messianic brothers that I'm talking to right now. When he does want to, because one of them tried to challenge me recently. One thing about the messianic brothers, man, like when I talk to the brothers, basically, um, basically the messianic brothers, uh, they love to talk about Christ. You feel me?
They,
Messianic brothers love to talk about Christ and different things that Christ supposedly taught. You feel me?
well, they have no understanding.
And it's like, man, we talk about the laws, man, and that's another thing about Brother Dan. He was just talking about the laws, and that's one thing people really don't. They want to talk about prophecy, or they want to talk about, some.
Prophecy and
They don't
anything.
really want to deal with the laws because the law is kind of uncomfortable to tell them, motherfucker, well, you got to do this.
Right. The law is going to make you have to change something about yourself.
Yeah, so
And most Negroes that are black ain't trying to change nothing. They're happy being niggas. And that's just an honest statement that niggas will always be happy being niggas.
hey,
If it's not true, we
hey, look,
celebrate Nigga Day.
they make captivity a little comfortable.
Right.
This right here is they call it Babylon, they call it Egypt, but it is captivity. This is
Egypt was a
captivity.
melting pot, and this place is a melting pot for everything that goes on under the sun. You don't have to go to another country to experience it. You can experience it right here. They come here to experience what you're trying to experience somewhere else. You live in that state of, I would say, Egyptian or Babylonian mind state. We worship everything but what is to be worshipped, and that's the Creator. That's why I said those men have no understanding. If the Most High, Israel said, we want to put Moses between us and the Creator because we can't, we'll die. The Most High said, very well, what you asked. In other words, I set Moses over you to rule over you, and he's going to teach you his ways. We don't have a Moses today. There was nobody that stepped in between the Most High and us when he said, I chose to plead with you face to face. We're in the pleading face to face stage. It's going to get worse. Anybody understand it don't know that. Now we have to get to that level of understanding or knowledge of what's written in that book to find out where we are so we can see where and why he's pleading with us. Now everybody knows 400 years is dead. What are you going to do next?
But you know what? Also,
Have you acknowledged your guilt?
but put this in consideration though. Remember Genesis chapter 20. I love reading that, and I sometimes think about why things happen, in certain areas in this country.
Right.
What he say about in Abraham? He said, if you find 30 righteous Israelites,
Right.
will you destroy the spot?
How many
And it's
righteous do you think you'll find in Cincinnati?
But see, that's the Almighty's judgment, though.
Yeah, but he chose Abraham to make the decision. He let Abraham see him figure it out. Abraham was the righteous man dealing with the Creator.
Remember, he just said
You're
at
the
10.
righteous man.
We gotta be at least 10 in area. I wonder what type of area. Is it a 20
Sodom-
block radius?
Sodom is big.
Yeah,
That was a city.
Yeah. So how many?
Huh?
They want to play with you.
Okay, you don't have to. You play with him. He'll play with your blocks. He might find that entertaining.
Okay. So
So
how many Israelites gotta maintain this motherfucker? How many righteous
Yep.
men in this millions
Yep.
is able to maintain this thing? Because truth be told, if we get out the way, it's just like them little hick towns. They always get swept up when they ain't got nobody, no, man, nobody in the area.
But brothers are unwilling to gather unto themselves. Pride. Niggas will have to give up their position. Only the elders are the one who hold charge over Israel. All these little niggas around here in their 30s and 40s, you gotta sit your ass down. You just a goddamn servant. Just like the rest of us that's supposed to call it, greatest among these are my servants. So if you ain't trying to be one of those, then get your ass out the way. We don't need many titles. There's only one title, and that's the Most High's name. And if you walk righteously, you wear that name. And if you have understanding, knowledge, and truth, then you walk with that name in you. As the angels or men came, and the Most High's name was in them.
Now, what was that scripture? Because I got to read that scripture where it talks about, the priesthood. When did they stop the priesthood? 70? When did they stop the priesthood? I remember reading that
What
on
year
the
or
ages.
what?
Yeah. I done read it in a little second, but I need to know about that because when we talk about ages,
Wait a minute. Age is like when
because
once
elder.
you was a priest, you was a priest until you passed. Or you talking about at a
No,
time period?
no, it's like it's an age when you get too old to be a priest.
There is.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
Hey, no. At least that's why Alicia classes was hot.
Yo, I really didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
at
thought
least-
you was a priest until your time of service when you were
No.
old or
You started at an age and you had a certain time.
so a Nazarite. If a Nazarite became
Nah, that's different.
no. But I'm saying if you vow to be a Nazarite and you're gonna serve your time, is there a time restriction? Because
I don't know about
there wasn't.
Nazarite. I'm talking about the priesthood. The priesthood. Okay, look.
'Cause I thought the
I threw it out
servitude-
there.
Right.
I said it.
Right.
I'm gonna stamp on it. I ain't even racing this, so you know what I'm saying?
Well, whatever's up there is up there.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. When it comes down to like the elders being the elders got their place. We gotta respect the elders, of course. That's why we always respect them. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. But at the same time, we have the priesthood, who is gonna be of a certain age and things of that nature.
70s and up.
That's why his, you know what I'm saying, Levi, they fucking with the priesthood, the heathens.
He is.
No, I'm just saying with my son out there, 'cause
Oh.
that's what he was made. You know, my middle name is Adot, and he was a Levi. That's his name, Levi, because I don't know what Levite it is, but it's a Levi. The sons of Adot.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and the son of Adot are one of them Levites. That's gonna be the priest in the temple.
This is just a small perspective of mine, something that's running across my head. I think before we get too far into going too far, we have to learn how to discern where we are and what we're doing. Before we do anything, before we even should have surnamed ourselves, we needed to be able to discern this walk to know and understand that there's going to be goddamn pitfalls all the way to the end. We got our hopes high, but we didn't look at all the shit that we got to walk over some hills. Most High's going to make us work for this. Our fathers didn't have to work for it. He spared them because they cried to him, but we got to prove it. Because crying and shit like that, we know women cry, but do they really mean the tears that's running down their face? Do we really mean when we're sitting there so-called on a Day of Atonement? That's why I said to you earlier, Day of Atonement is every day. He didn't give us no specific day. He said, I sent you over there to reflect. That means atonement every day. He didn't set a time on that. We just like on a certain day trying to keep up with something that he took from us a long time ago. We got to get back to where our fathers were, broken, in a contrite spirit.
And that's what I was.
We ain't broken.
That's crazy because I was thinking to myself.
Outside of that, you're arrogant and you're prideful. That's why why should he save us? I'm an arrogant nigga. Why should he save our asses? We don't deserve it.
But you know what? I was say it's crazy. I was just thinking about this idea, right? The Day of Atonement for a week. Because you know the Day of Atonement, you don't see nobody doing some wicked things that they do all year. All year, that'd be the one day they be fasting.
We be doing some rotten stuff Friday. Soon as the sun down, we got to that last second.
That Day of Atonement must be cool on that Day of Atonement. Mm-hmm. That'd be the one day they supposedly they fasting, but they don't be doing the same little stuff they be doing all year.
But the thing is, Christians do that.
What?
They do atonement once, like Israel. Everybody's supposed to go back to their homeland. We don't. That was a commandment.
I know we're supposed to atone every day. I know.
We don't even atone for that.
But it's just crazy how much atoning they be doing that one day.
Rivers of Babylon. You know the song.
How we yearn like that every day.
But our people don't forgot Jerusalem.
Man, if people act like they was in Day of Atonement every day, people probably start getting it together.
That's
that same way they do that same way that every day. I think they just got to do that every day.
Every day, if you atone every day.
They just say, I'm confessing my sins, I'm fasting, I ain't doing nothing. Every day, every day.
You'll be more mindful of how you actually walk. You'll be more mindful of how you carry yourself to the people around you. But the Most High got to spank our asses first. That's just being out. I don't care if the elders or whoever's listening.
The next day, be like, okay, where you? What?
Right.
Where's it?
After Day of Atonement, we're gonna went right back to the same sin, and the Creator told you, Cain, do good because sin is crouching at the door. We don't even know what good is.
Yeah.
We step over elders. We don't even
I
regard
try not
elders.
to.
And I'm not talking about elders.
I
We
know-
acknowledge the elders of Israel, but we don't acknowledge the elders out here in life.
Yeah, I try to.
We narrow-minded. We forgot about the big picture. We kept ourselves in a box called Israel. But we forgot the four corners is Israel. So we got to take the blinders off so we can see that there's a big ass sky. Who measured the heavens? Didn't the Most High say that to Job? Who can measure the distance of the earth?
So you talk about the elders. That's a deep subject because they don't respect the elders anymore.
Nope. The elders don't respect themselves because they've gotten caught up in their position and their titles too. They think they're untouchable. They haven't come down to the level of a servant. They'll come back and talk about their history. Well, I served this country, but you never served the Most High. You're an elder and you get that respect, but your servitude as a righteous man, father, is not respected. Anybody can get up here. The white man get up here and told you to bow before him, and you did. He's not your God. So why should I bow before your eldership? Who have you ushered back to the Most High in righteousness, truth, and understanding with all that knowledge? Nobody. You've led people to you in your ways. Lean not to thy understanding. Let's go into Ezekiel and talk about the prophets and the elders leading the sheep astray, fattening themselves. You like the position, and that's facts. The position alone is giving you pride. Now you've puffed yourself up. You set yourself above the congregation of the Most High. While we pointing fingers at a cracker, it's niggas doing this shit. That's why I said get your house in order.
Hey, that was beautiful, bro. That's why I'm glad I got that. I got that on wax.
But I mean, it's
no, for real, because you man, you went in on it because it's like, okay, for you an elder, but who have you really turned to the Almighty?
What
You know what I'm saying? That's straight out the scriptures. Like, who turned my people to righteousness? Like, Almighty turn around like, but yeah, you do all this, but who turned my people to
even get proud of
righteousness?
me.
Yeah, like,
And I'm the one who's been sparing you all these years. Now, if you go back and reflect from your childhood to present day, and all the moments and times when you was blaming everybody else, did not the Creator tend you the whole way, set you in the right place, the right time, got you out of shit, the right time, the right place? Ain't no man did that. The Most High moved chess. He's playing chess. We playing checkers.
you like a book, though.
We limited by our ability to think.
Let me tell you why, because it's like, you saying, like, remember all the prophets really say the same thing, turn back, turn back, turn back.
Right.
But you got your own chapter. Now, you said it your way, because the cool part was, look,
This how I do it at work. I mean,
hey, the cool part was you said it in a different way, like, but you uplift yourself because of your, but you, who do you turn to? The Almighty. That's what he be always,
Okay, thank you. We have no choice but to give up ourselves. The one thing about the New Testament I do agree with, it says you must die to yourself. In other words, all that pride that we've been carrying, all the egos that we've been displaying, all the ignorance that we've been walking in, we know when we're wrong. We hide it. And we think that heaven and earth is not knowing what the fuck we do. The Creator don't have to watch us. That is testifying every day. We don't even give thought of the simple things. I said we look at the big picture, but we still got to pay attention to the simple things. The lowly of the simple things. If you were really that low, you'd be looking up. We're in between. We ain't looking up. We're too busy looking straight ahead. We've learned from the tree of not good and not bad.
No, we got a straight up heathen around
and the
this
good
boy.
things bad.
like,
The Gentile has nothing to do with none of that. They
Really?
are a punishment. Just like the Most High said, I got birds of prey. When I summons them in that day in Ezekiel, they will come. And they will eat so much fucking meat and bodies and fat that they won't even be able to fly. He will call them to devour and clean the earth. He don't need you to do it.
you know who else used to say stuff like that? Kwame.
Mm-hmm.
He used to say stuff like that because what he would try to relate to me is the fact that the heathen don't control nothing anyway. Why you even bringing them in the picture?
Right.
They don't. The
He giving
heathen
them glory that they don't deserve.
Like he was talking about, the reason they have dominion, though, because Almighty gave them dominion right now.
He put them over us.
Yeah, right. So it's
We
like,
acknowledge that, but we don't understand it.
yeah.
Father, please, if David knew it, that's them songs. Father, get them enemies off my back.
Get them off me.
I ain't going to them. I'm coming to you. You don't want to put them on my back.
Like,
Job over here getting his ass kicked with them plagues. Did he curse the Creator? Nope. He was afflicted. The Most High didn't get mad at him because he was a mumbo and jumboing. Even the men said Job was just running his mouth talking gibberish. When the Most High stepped in and corrected all they ass. Don't worry about Job. I put that shit on his ass. But you spend men are supposed to be men of understanding. And y'all in here mumbo jumbo. We don't get up, we don't give regard to the Creator in no form or fashion. The s- that they put on that yoke that's on your neck that you can't see is always there. It's a pressure. Just as a fucking black man, there's a pressure on you. That's the yoke. That's the burden. That shit ain't removed. You know it's still there, and every other brother, if they watch this, know it's there, and even the women know it's there. Children are growing up with that same yoke on them. We place that burden on our own children and how we deal with them because we're being burdened. That's what keeps those curses going. Understanding is to wake up and realize that we're cursed. But they say the first way to solve a problem is to what? Identify it as a problem. Black folks will not identify that they fucked up in the game. We think we got diamonds, gold, and all the fucking lavish shit that we competing. Who the fuck are you competing with? Your enemy? You're a dumbass. That's a trap. I said stumbling blocks before me. We are here racing with them. The most said to be long suffering. I mean, you got to endure this. Stop racing with this nigga and endure the shit that I'm giving you. I had to give it to you. Your father's messed up. I got to visit this on you. My word ain't coming back to me. When your father disciplined you, he said the same shit. You got your ass whooped. He kept his word. You got mad at him because he kept his word. Israel's mad at the Messiah because he kept his word. Secretly in your heart somewhere, you despise him because of the oppression that you're going through. Can't pay my fucking bills. Goddamn kids getting on my nerves. I'm going through this shit in life. The man don't love me. My children don't listen. All that is curses. We have not accepted not one motherfucking one of them. That's why we live the life the way we do, just running the goddamn muck to this country, thinking that we're going to buy our way out of shit. He said money, silver, and gold ain't going to save you. Just because you sit at the top of the goddamn food chain means you're going to be the first nigga getting eaten. Think about that. Put that shit in your goddamn pipe and smoke it. Put that in your incense burner and burn that. Preach that in your sermons. The one thing we shy from is an ass whooping. We're leapfrogging into some dumb shit, but when an ass whooping comes, we run. We act like bitches. When a white man whoop your ass, you acting like a bitch. Nigga whoop your ass real good, you act like a bitch. When the Most High whoop your ass, you know it's a change coming. You scared of change. We got comfortable in this utopia of ignorance. We've settled for less. Ain't nobody buying us. What are they gonna give you $100 billion to keep their fucking their system going? When these white people get on TV and talk about the stimulus package, you're the fucking stimulus package. It's always been about you. They've conspired, they've been conspiring. The more you know, the more they try to hide or deny or act like it don't exist, change shit. They're over there fucking with Egypt right now, trying to hide shit. These African niggas over here hotepping around, talking some shit and got people nervous. It's been going on for years. Moving pyramids, they talking about they trying to save it. No. You're trying to change history, just like you're trying to alter things so that black history becomes white. They change the signs and the times of the judges. Isn't that written? The Torah's mixed all up, it is all in there, we living through it. There's nothing new. That's why the book was long enduring throughout the ages. Because it spoke about the same shit. It didn't have to die, change not. I'm the Most High.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's the good thing about the law, though. That's the great thing about the law.
So throughout each era of time, the same shit was going on. We just can't figure it out. We see Golden Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age, the clay. You know, when you get to the thing, that's where we at. We down here though.
And you know what's crazy about that, man? I don't know why, but I thought about the Moorish sign symbol at the time because I was thinking to myself, like, you know, the Almighty doesn't change, so His laws don't change.
Right.
When we talk about the Moorish sign symbol, do they have laws?
No.
You know what I'm saying? I think they may be Muslim. They may be go by the.
They still live by the laws of this land, but want to claim sovereignty in a land that you don't want to live by the laws in. What kind of sense does that make?
Say that again.
I said you claim sovereignty so you don't have to live by the laws of the land, but you live in a land where you have to live by the laws of the land, claiming you don't want to live by those laws. What the president said on TV? If you don't like it here, leave. Ain't nobody holding you the fuck here. You niggas just thought you was free yesterday, you stupid asses. You've been free since the 1800s to go through their doctrine. What the fuck have you been doing? Sleep. The walking fucking dead. These niggas don't realize they're free, well, let's kill them. They'll wake up and realize, what does the Most High gotta do to snap niggas out of the coma they're in? When you really start putting the shit to some goddamn real rubber meets the road, what does he gotta do? He's gotta wake niggas up somehow. A mass killing. We see this stupid shit on TV every day and still don't wake up. So what is it gonna take? The Most High's really gotta come back and shake the goddamn earth. When crackers get scared, niggas get scared. That old shit we see a nigga in the club, he get up and start running. If I do that right now in the movie theater, niggas ain't gonna run, they just gonna look and see first. Why are we running? Don't worry about it.
But yeah, but like, okay, and that's, you know, that's what some people talk about. They talk about, okay, when they call Jerusalem today, it's so small, you know what I'm saying? It's not the actual, that's not Jerusalem. You feel me? That's, the heathen put it over here because they hate the Almighty. Because you know they hate that Talmud, they hate.
And they still mad from their fathers being cursed. And the other one being cursed over there, Haman. I think his name was Haman or something like that. Naaman and Gehazi. One of them was cursed with leprosy forever and his descendants. Nobody ever talks about them two. You worry about who Esau and Jacob is. Who the fuck cares? They're brothers. One was red and hairy. He looked like fucking you and me. He looked more red than you and me. But we forget, remember we was talking out there about that time span since we were cast out of our land?
Yeah.
All the way to the time of present day?
Yeah.
Just think about that. If that's 3,000 years of seed mingling, how the fuck can you look over here and say, I'm Israel? I don't know. I don't even know if I'm Israel. I don't give a fuck. I'm not turning from it.
No, these laws is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And we know that because it's like everything in this law there is against it, but it's like, okay, it's more advanced than any laws that you have around. Like, and the fact is, you know, like Islam and Christianity, for instance, that's the main ones around here.
The Ten Commandments, these laws in America are based off the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not serve no other God but who? Me, the United States. Thou shalt not bow down to no other country but who? Me, the United States. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images to who? Any other country but here. They run the flag all over the place. Even black folks run around with the flag of another country. Thou shalt love thy brother. If you take those 10 and apply it, the Sabbath, their Sabbath, Sunday, they use your own shit against you and they turn something that was good and pure into bad. Now we've been raised and groomed in their way of thinking. We know they corrupted our book. But do we have enough sense to see that they corrupted and read around them? Do you have enough understanding in you that the Most High may put there to get you to see, I guess, through the fall? What's that statement they say? It's all smoke and mirrors. But can you still navigate in a room of smoke and mirrors? That's your test. The Most High said, I do these things to test you. Getting the portion on the 6th day. Wearing your fringes.
I really got a question for you because my mind went on. This a little off subject a little bit, but I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. And it's I seen something recently where it was this female rapper. She got a bunch of Instagram followers. I never heard of her, but they got a clip of her supposedly selling her soul. She's like, I sold my soul. She started crying. And I sold it to the devil. And I'm like thinking to myself, she don't know what the fuck she talking about. All she gotta do is go to the house of Israel. She can get her mind all the way
back out, right?
Straight right on out.
Jimmy, you're right.
You know the difference between it with the devil. You sold your soul to the devil. What you do? I signed my name in blood.
The devil comes up in the house of the Most High too.
But what I'm saying though, when you talk about selling your soul to the devil, right? The
Adversary.
We know what the adversary wants us to do. When you're a Christian, you don't know right from wrong.
Yeah, but listen to me. The adversary, I summoned all of the elders. What did he say? How was that scripture going? And then the adversary was there as well. He asked him a question. What do you do? Well, I'm just going to and fro. I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
Have you considered what are you doing? As long as you don't hit no cars over here, we good. Have you considered my servant Job?
Where'd that come from?
I guess right over there in the corner.
They probably busted you.
Well, they busting a lot of U's.
Yeah, he's just playing around.
I'm just waiting to hear metal.
He trying to escape.
He's trying to play with that water. Right there, he's just trying to... No, well, I don't know what he's trying to do. He didn't mess with me. What's wrong with you?
Why y'all put that right there?
Mm-hmm. Time waits for no man.
Who that not?
So in order to understand time, we gotta be still. But go back to what you were saying.
Man, I forgot, bro. What were we talking about, bro?
Something that I said.
Well, I know one thing though. We on Unity Ghost channel. One thing I do want to stress is too though, like this sodomite issue. You know, people want to be, what is it, liberal? I listen to this one dude. Okay, what the hell is liberal? Is that okay? Feminist, sodomite, abortion. What is it? You know, I'm not political because of course I'm not a Republican or Democrat. None of that. Like I said, I like you know
What
Trump messing
liberal?
up stuff. Yeah.
A liberal is, I think, like the base of the word, liberated. They think they're liberated, so their thoughts are liberal. Liberal is very free and open and just okay with a lot. And, you know, I'm very liberated. It's okay for my son to come over and spend the night in my daughter's room. Very liberal. Those type of thinkers. The conservative is, no, you sleep outside of the couch. Pull the cocks out. Or, what do you call them? Cocks out?
Mm-hmm.
Not cots. What do you call them? Cots. Cots.
Yeah, you know you're sleeping, but you ain't sleeping now. What are you sleeping alone for?
Right. They made dinner at 5:30, and you know everybody ate. It was boring food, conservative. They talked about politics or anything relative school. They had a fair conversation at the table. That's a conservative type of person.
So you would say everybody that votes, so supposed to be voted for somebody that you're liberal versus when you're president. Like for instance, I don't vote. I know you don't vote, right? No, we don't vote. So we don't vote. So it's like when we talk about liberal. I guess it's just ideology.
You were raised in it, so certain principles that you believe in it are kind of groomed in either one of those two ideologies. And I say ideologies because both sides are the same. They're just coming at you from a different angle.
Hey, that's some ingenious stuff.
When you think about it, it's a bull and a donkey, or it's an elephant and a donkey. One's slow but has wisdom. The donkey is strong but not too smart. They're both the same. They're just the opposite of each other. They both doing the same thing, expecting different results. That's what they sell you on TV. Who's insane? Remember you. Believing in it. Now that's politics. Poly, many lies. Who's insane? Doing the same thing, expecting different results. Are you insane for believing in their bullshit? Or are they insane for selling you the same old lie? President to president, agenda to agenda. Anybody can get up and write a movie and reword it. That's what they do. This you get a part 2, a remake or a remix.
So you would say Trump is a remix. You know, that's crazy. Because you think about it like, boom. You know, he is a remix. He's a 2019 remix because boom, he could be racist.
Right.
I think they've been racist.
Right.
But he could be racist, but the 2019 racist with black people. Black people cool with that racist because it's like, shit, I don't like white motherfuckers either, so fuck them. You know,
realistically, when it comes down to the politics, what difference does it make? Our say so never mattered in the first place. They still don't count you as anything, but they need your vote to win. The only thing that matters, you matter about, is your vote. Once they get that, you ain't shit. They gonna start shooting you the fuck down. So all these elections coming, niggas should have the best time of their life. Barbecuing, roasting hot dogs, Labor's Day, celebrating stupid shit. And then as soon as winter hit, they gonna start shooting your ass down through the winter and back into the summer. Until more elections come around. So it's 2020. Niggas need to just be in the fucking house and let them clean up their own mess. For the first time ever as black people, we are not really physically or even mentally or emotionally involved in an election. The news is trying to draw you into it with their rhetoric, with all this nonsense on TV. My thing is, they've done that last year. They've done it with the Gulf War. They've done it with the Cuban Missile Crisis. All these fucking shits that go on, they suck the people in to get your approval by way of your emotions. They do the same thing expecting the same results, but you do the same thing expecting something different. And they get the same results. You have to give them something different, which monkey wrenches their whole ideology. Why these niggas changing? They're not going with the program. That's what separation's about. But we don't want to separate because we hooked on drugs.
Literally.
Right. When you're hooked on drugs, you lose your sense of awareness, accountability. Why do we have a hard time acknowledging that we're wrong? Because we have no sense of accountability for the shit we do because we high on drugs. I mean, America. I mean, the system. I mean, we still in the matrix. Know what I told you before about being in the matrix? One group is in the matrix and one group is outside trying to tell them you're in the matrix. But the matrix is where we are right now. Barbecue grills and 20-inch rims. We think we hit the pinnacle. We have no idea what it is to even be happy. We fake our happiness because it's only momentarily. We substitute certain things for the wrong things instead of it's accepting our reality. We trust in a system that has never done nothing for us. So how can we be so sleep to even fall into it over and over? When the black folks at some point, like they did the busing in the 60s, gonna say, you know what, fuck this bullshit. I ain't doing shit no more. I'm riding the fucking bus. I ain't eating your goddamn restaurants. I ain't even spending money in any of your fucking shit. I don't give a fuck if there's a line clean across the goddamn state of fucking Ohio to give me some hot dogs in that black restaurant. I'm waiting. They'll take your shit seriously. You're invested deeply in this system. I made a post about, their rest depends on your loyalty to their system. They sit at home right now on yachts, kick back while you over here stressing. Their rest. This is their. We haven't run into our 7th day yet. The Most High rested, but we haven't. They're getting their rest early. And you're paying for it. The whole system was based around you. That's why I said the laws are based around the 10 Commandments. They just have than their God, which is not Christ no more, it's money. Christ was a God back in, when you want to say it starts with the M. When they were doing like the Hellenized days. That's where that shit really mattered. The popes and the queens of Spain, they were all Christians or Catholics. You got niggas that are Catholics.
You know what's crazy too? I say this one pagan holiday that it looked like it'll be fun, but look, I was just talking crap. I ain't gonna really mess with it. But it's the one in Spain, what's called the running of the bulls.
I heard. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, you know what with the bulls? You
That's
have
a religious
the road. Yeah, basically they pray to a saint before they do it. I don't know too much about it.
So what does it mean when that guy got a horn in his ass? Did his prayers come true?
I don't really like, you know what I'm saying? But remember like all the different Catholic deities, they're the old, the old wicked, the heathens deities back in those days. They just hide it behind different saints.
Right.
That's why they would pray to the saint, and the saint would pray to Christ, and then Christ prays to the Almighty. It'd be that whole thing.
Right. And then they
got different saints
like
they will
Santa
pray through.
Claus.
Yeah.
Saint Nicholas.
Yeah, they will pray through different saints, and that saint will pray to Christ. Christ pray to the Almighty, and then.
And we supposed to have no intercessory because we have a one-on-one interaction. It's amazing. We want to be coming around the mountain where we come with that rhetoric.
Yeah.
We can just have a direct. Yes. I don't even need 911 to have a conversation with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. That saint, but they were different false deities, different wicked deities during the year, depending on which one it was. Like, and they would do different things. and they would just mimic those different saints to the different evil deities. That's why they do all types of wickedness. You already know.
Let me ask you a question. You mentioned earlier about getting the brotherhood together.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to take? Because first you got to clean up your own house before we go into any other man's house and suggest any type of cleaning. That's why I think it's important for Israel, even myself, I'll suggest it, but it's not like, to me, the Most High's got to put it in your heart to make some things happen. If you don't want to clean up your house, then just subject it to whatever, short-term life disability plans and shit like that. Because he did tell that one king, and we got to be mindful of that suggestion. Get your house in order. And hopefully, yeah, that was yours. What is the reason that we are unable as Israelites, first of all, I ain't gonna talk about all the blacks in this country, that we know what we know. I don't care if it's 30 years, and to the oldest elder, to the youngest Israelite that has understanding, why is it that there has been no gathering of elders?
Well, like I said, that's the true threat. The heathen know, like, and we see it too. It's like, I was trying to talk about that earlier. We got no Israelites in the area. That's why they usually want to live around us. They want to live around us
They're
because
soaking all your...
Abraham. What that Abraham, man? He told me it got to be a certain amount of people. The reason I don't want to go by through here and wipe this place out. It's gonna be straight up wickedness. This wickedness all through this wickedness. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But he said if he can find some of his, he won't destroy the city for their sake.
Right.
But man, if he coming through and it's just heathens raping and pillaging and doing all types of abominations, he may just go and throw a tornado through there. But really, you rarely see one coming through Cincinnati.
But we forget, even as black folks, that those heathens are us. He never told us that white people have gone astray. He said we went astray. And our people over you. And they're going to oppress you.
You can't say they're us, but you can say that they're being who they're supposed to be. I mean, I can understand that.
Right.
They are being who they are supposed to be. They ain't changed. They gods was heathens.
Will we ever be able to accept the fact that our fathers fucked up in a way that will really get us to consider, like, this shit really is something that is significant? We talk about generational curse in church, and they do talk about that in church a lot. But do they really hold any type of value to being a part of that curse, whether it's the first or the last? Has Israel accepted the fact that you might not be Israel? That's why you are surnaming yourself. You don't know who you are when you got to subscribe to the name of something that you just found out about. But how can we walk around with so much pride and arrogance in the way that we walk, to show a disregard to everything that he told us to show a regard for? That's going to get wiped out, because destruction comes when pride presents itself. And in those days that the Most High killed all of those, their pride is what got them knocked off. And Moses had to come down damn near as an intercessor and say, look, all of those before the Most High, come over here. But they was worshiping other shit, like our people do today. Some things shouldn't have to be said, they should be understood. As an Israelite, how can you walk in agreement if certain things are not understood? We could talk scriptures all day and walk with each other until you do something stupid. And then you're going to have people questioning, is you really Israelite? Because we know we can study how to be Israel. The heathens study how to be Israel.
I mean, but actions, as we already know, don't necessarily call you Israelite. It's a bloodline.
The bloodline's been defiled. So is our Torah.
Man, I still say I'm 1,000% Israel. I don't give a.
So
I know it ain't. I know I understand what you're saying, but I still be 1,000% Israel. I know. I mean, it's like, man, I ain't got no heathen. I'm not even gonna believe that. That's not even
there were
representing
Africans
Israel.
that married Israelite women that walked out of Egypt too. There's gonna be some damn heathens walking out with black women with mixed children on turn towards the Most High. There's gonna be some Israelites out. It's gonna be salty as fuck
But why? Why? I don't even understand why get salty though.
because they salty now. You go ahead and marry a sister. Just because it's not present, they don't speak on it, but let it be present in that day. That's why we got to go into the rod still, because there's still iniquity. Even those Israelites that he chose, he said, I got to forgive you of those sins and remember them no more. Because there's going to be sin all the way to the walking out and going over there. I set shepherds over you already. They're going to teach you the way. That's all in that book. That's why that river is going to be so damn small. And he said, you made a statement earlier about him appointing shepherds over us. Yeah, he is. In the end. That holy line, he knows where they are. We don't know who that person is. Nobody strive. People are striving to be something that they weren't destined to be. We can have fun with the Torah and laugh, make everybody feel spiritually good. But then in that good, you're dead because you have no understanding.
Man, but you know what, man? I was so looking forward to that temple in Jerusalem. I was so looking forward, not even if I was the one to build it, maybe if I die, but maybe my son being able to build it, you know what I'm saying? In the temple. You
He
feel me?
will. If he's lucky.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know,
it
it's
depends
like,
on what we do today.
it's like, oh man, the 400 years coming through, got a son, got an almighty, you know what I'm saying? Give me,
But then,
at least have him build a temple.
was David thinking about anything righteousness when he was out there tending the sheep? Was he thinking about building and being a king and a leader and aspiring to do whatever? He was just he was getting the shit into the stick. He was the younger brother.
Yeah,
But
pretty
he's probably
much.
out doing his little thing. He was tending to them sheep and taking care of them. That's what the Creator saw. We run around here doing way too much. We forgot about the simple things. Who is tending my flock? That's what's important. We setting up meetings, organizations, structures. We got committees. We got boards. We got everything on earth that we need to start a government without the Most High. In a land of defilement with a heart that has not been cleansed. What makes you think that king is going to come through this stupid shit you're going through and then go over there and be defiled again?
All right, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question real quick. All right, boom. You know the Constitution, or they call it Constitution or whatever.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of elders or whoever to come through. Now, who are these? Now, I'm trying to get an understanding of. Okay, now people who know government, who know this class, know who are these people, and how do they get something and come up with a document that everybody say, you know what, we're gonna roll with this.
As far as the Bible
No, the Constitution.
or the Constitution? Well, when you understand who was over here at the time, it wasn't just native blacks over here just running around with Indian outfits on. There were people here living. It was civilization. But all this land out here to the west wasn't tended to. It was unlived land. Flowing grass, hay, all that stuff. The wild animals lived. That's that question again. Beginning part.
No, I don't, yeah,
'Cause I let my thought into something that I want to make sure I stay on the topic. Because I know where I'm going with it.
I forgot.
But in the 1800s, what those men were doing back then, in the 1700s, what our people were doing, I was just reading the just inside, and they were speaking about a girl that was she was like barely a teenager, and she was a millionaire from land and wealth. Now, that should make a lot of us question what was going on back then in relevance to what's going on now, and how we're living, the condition of how we're living, how we think. 1800s, those men and what they were doing back then, because we don't consider it. Everybody was dealing with each other. Something went wrong. Treaties and agreements. How could we have all them three founding men sitting there on the $3 bill, sitting amongst all them so-called racist crackers? And they sitting up there painted in the bill. They were putting in intentionally. Who were those men? They were Moors. I read up on a few of them. I think John Henson was one.
But see, the point of where I was going with it was they were respected to the point where the people in general said, you know, we can roll with this plan.
Who would the people go?
So who we and who are the people? And it's like, okay,
You remember the
how
great
they have to
debaters?
be respected?
I asked you that already.
No, I'm telling you what. I'm saying, how are they being respected? Because that's the same. We could come up with a constitution, which is the law. The law is our constitution.
Right.
But we could come up with a constitution
Are you
of
the
the
laws of the
constitution.
land?
What?
Are we supposed to honor the laws of the land? Then what constitution are you under? The Torah or the laws of the land?
Of course, what they say is, you know what I'm saying, as long as they don't conflict with the Almighty's word, then you might as well just go with the flow. That's what we was talking about. As long as they don't conflict the laws and commandments, then you know what I'm saying, you can roll with it.
I got it.
But I was just saying though, those people who, you know, made the Constitution, all the people went with it. Same thing with Israel. What type of Israelite, what type of leaders do we have to have where if these leaders click up and come up with a document that it's the law, but we kind of make it in context to right now, meaning that if such and such do this, we have this much that
What kind of leaders?
What leaders can do that to the point where all of us will be on board with it? That's what I'm saying with the Constitution. Why I brought it up, I'm like, everybody just got on board with it because they had these right people, the right
Most
people.
High say He told you what kind of leader is coming. One that you will have no regard for, that will speak words of the Most High greatly. There will be no beauty found in this man, that no one should desire him. But he will come speaking the truth. We ain't looking for that. We looking for the knights in shining fucking armor. We looking for Captain Save-A-Ho, because Israel is a hoe. Even though I say that, and they may get offended by it, but the Creator called you a hoe. You went off with another man's woman.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
now you want
we
to
was
come
married.
back to me.
We was married to the
Should I
Almighty.
take you back? It's just flat out simple. We forgot. We ain't reading that. We studying. Studying and reading is different. That's why I said we got a lot of knowledge in Israel. We got a lot of scholars, but do we have servants? Servants walk with understanding. You got to know what the master needs before he asks it. You got to know how to walk before the master. Carry yourself. There's a certain level of dignity.
It's a book just about that. About the dude that's right under the king or whatever the case is. I forgot what that book, but I had it. It was in the series. I think so, but it was in the series with you know what I'm saying, with all the other good books like the Art of War and stuff.
Okay.
It had like a little series with it, but it was just like the dude right under the king and everything. And it was just telling you. So yeah, it's a whole book about that. I remember reading
the
that.
Son of God. You are supposed to walk this earth with truth, balance, and character that God only gave you to go out here and be a light to those that's walking in ignorance. That's the whole duty of our man. If you fear God, then that's what you need to be doing. Now, what you got to do in the process to get there is clean up your shit. And that's something we ain't trying to do. We still want to keep our foot in iniquity and the other foot in a little bit of righteousness every now and then. And we be tap dancing on both sides until we split our pants. Now we got to choose a side. Because you can't stand walking like that forever. You'll be exposed. And the Most High spoke to you about exposing. He's going to uncover your hidden parts. How would you walk then? All this pride in Israel. Get your shit, all that fat from some of these women start showing. Israel will be walking them totally different, wouldn't it? That's just a roundabout way of putting it in the same scripture. If everybody had to walk naked, would they be so cocky?
Yeah.
But you get it.
Yeah, definitely. And the answer is no. We ain't over in the middle of Africa.
So everything's going to come right back full circle to where we have to humble ourselves. What does humble mean? Because it tells you how to walk in the definition of humble. Contrite. Broken. A lonely person is a humble person. Isn't a bum humble? Most of them. Homeless people are humble. We got $2 or $3 and all of a sudden we forgot what humility was. We eating off the master's table. We get the second, third hand crumbs. That's what keeps you surviving, the crumbs. So without the Most High, we wouldn't survive with these little shekels we got. So he has a little mercy on you in your affliction. You have children, you have babies. You enjoy them. But you learn something about me in the process of your parenting. You'll learn who I am through you being a parent. You are like me. I'm your father. Do you not see me in you when you deal with your children? Or do you deal unwisely with them like the beasts of the field that disregard their young? We're supposed to train our children the way they should go. We disregard our children in the way they should go. We let society and life teach them. We are that children. That's what I would say to the elders, going to them. But now that we're old enough to know right from wrong, we can't hang on to that excuse no more. As a child, you do things as a child, but now we're men, we must do things as men. Not wait for women to get their shit together. Not wait for somebody else, old Becky, to come over and pay the rent.
I'm gonna jump in. Let me jump in real quick
Mm-hmm.
because one thing I do want to put this disclaimer out there is the fact that the New Testament does have some good stuff in it.
Some, but it's
Because
hijacked.
no, the only reason I say that is because you just quoted the New Testament, and that was a good one.
I know I did.
You know what I'm saying? And that was a good one. See, the thing about it is, you know what I'm saying, people talk about how I dog the New Testament. You
But the
already
thing
know.
is, I'm not trying to even separate. One of the reasons I do quote the New Testament because I know a little bit of it, but there's good shit in it. I'm not trying to offend our brothers. Because regardless of how we feel about those that follow the New Testament, keep it, they may be wrong in their walk. But Abraham knew Lot was wrong for going to Sodom, but he had to let him go. But who was back there to go get his brother back? Abraham. We sit back disregarding our brother. So even though they're in idolatry, let them go out. They're going to get a little taste of the world. We tasted it too. They ain't full yet.
Yeah.
They'll come back. Just try to keep them from falling completely off the path.
You know what? I told you when I beat up the brother with the brother that was in idolatry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Our New Testament brothers, man, you know, they still trying to keep the laws. You know, you talk about adultery with them, they're gonna be like, they're gonna agree with you when it comes to adultery. They ain't gonna eat the swine.
It's just a missing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when I talk to them, man, it's good to talk to them for the
We
most
don't
part.
wanna-
We have a good conversation. They go off in the New Testament and worshiping Christ and stuff, but they do know we have to keep the law, even though they kind of messed the law up.
Right.
They at least know we got to keep it. So that's why it's good to talk to them about sodomites or adultery or the dietary laws.
We are the world's largest family. Never forget that.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, okay, I don't dog. But then when the brother want to bring up Christ, he's like, well, because you know, I didn't want them to talk about I want to be like Christ. Why do you want to be like Christ? You want to keep the commandments because you can be your own great. As long as you're keeping the laws, the Almighty, you know what I'm saying, will exalt you.
If you
You
was
know?
walking with a New Testament brother in the desert and you fell into a hole, do you think that he'll pull you out of it?
Yeah.
Why? I'm a Torah brother asking you that.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because I think that they know I would do that to them. Unless they have some real big major issue, they know I will pick them up out that hole too. So it'd be wise for you to pick me out the hole because I ain't got no bad for you. Now, if he getting some type of gain from doing me some type of harm, then I can understand that. But if he ain't getting no gain from it, if he just all of a sudden something happened, the brother gonna help me out because he know that I'm gonna do the same for him.
The Creator said that
Yeah.
it's better that two lie down together and two fight together than one. If one's wounded, you can pick him up.
Yeah.
We don't walk that way. That's not even our mind state. We don't keep a brother close at hand or even rely on our brother. We scramble like eggs running to everybody in the system to try to solve our problems, but we ain't running to each other like we were saying earlier about having a lawyer in Israel. Where are they at?
That's crazy.
But I know we got them. Doctors in Israel. Where are they at? I know we got them. All these people on my friends list, from newscasters and some of these famous people, I guess they think they're famous, and some that want to be famous, and people with big names. We see you sitting in front of cameras and doing all your things, and you're balling, you're doing all these great things, but what really are you doing? Are you tending to yourselves? If you're supposed to be a priest unto the nations, then are you priestly? Are you walking priestly? Judah's supposed to be mindful of that, especially the men. That's why I put this on. It's a constant reminder of who I am. That's why I started wearing it. Of what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not just about your fringes. That was to live in the land. that the Father gave us. But now over here is your walk.
Yeah, the friendly too. Some people wear the friendly.
Your righteousness now has got to preserve you, not your actions. Not saying not your actions, but people think, oh, I gave you 20 or 30 or 50, I did that or these or those. That's going to spare you, know? Because the deeds that you do, good or bad, is going to be judged. But how is your walk? We see black and white, but how was you looking in the gray? What kind of Israelite was you in those quiet times? Was you sitting there mindful of the Most High? Was you studying, meditating on Him? Like Daniel was in the middle of the day praying?
Shalom. Okay. It then
Sometimes it
went a
be
straight up R. I think I should stop this one. Do another one, man. For real. This on part one type shit. Okay, I hear you loud and clear, brothers Kane. Shalom. They got a couple of brothers that was on there.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We just chilling.
Just chopping it up.
Yeah.
That's why I said a
And we,
dialogue is different than a conversation. Because you get something from it. Conversation, you can get things from it, but you don't take it a certain way. It's short term, but a dialogue, we're both expressing points of view about matters of whether it's contention, strife, reality, life, love, happiness, peace, war. It's in a whole branch of different things.
okay, I wanted to ask you something because you know I got to keep it a little controversial. You know what I'm saying?
I'm ready.
I never thought. You know what I'm saying? Okay, for instance, do you think it matter about the either it's flat or it's circular or whatever the Earth thing? Does it matter?
My opinion is
They'll be like you because you
no.
said it was round.
I don't think it matters on that level. I think it matters for me and my understanding, and it will give people more trust in the scriptures because it's written that way.
Okay.
It's another way for you to really see that they've corrupted understanding. And why would I not take something that I already understand and bring it to them?
Hey, like I said, that's probably a good. Like I said,
There's one dude, he's a flat earther now. I mean, he's an Israelite now. I used to post this video, that D Marvel. From what I know, he's walking as one. I ain't really had too many conversations, but I know he's there.
And you know what? That's why you almighty say you gotta be like a baby. Like you gotta kind of like wipe what you know what I'm saying. You think you know because you just know from what the heathen told you and how you grew up and stuff. You feel what I'm
I
saying?
gotta look for myself. I got a telescope in there, and I got another one that I broke. I looked at Venus myself. It's a damn look like it's sitting in a tank. I looked at the moon. I can look at the moon when it come out. I've been staring at the moon since I was a kid. I used to stare at the sun when I was a kid. I've traveled this country, and then one day I seen somebody talking about it. I'm like, wait, I used to think about this. Now the way they were putting it together, it made sense. Then my mind kicked into overdrive. Then I realized, okay, the scriptures was talking about it. Now, what in the scriptures make it so important? I hang the stars up there. They are hung up there. But we think of there's a space. To me, space separates you from the creator because everything starts at a starting point, which is the Big Bang. Trillions and gazillions of years ago, that's how far they removed God from you. When he said, I sit right above the circle of this earth.
You know what? You know what?
You
know what my test would be? Say for instance, you got an airplane, and they go from here to supposedly the other side of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like to see, what would convince me is if I had some type of way to see the sky.
There's a video I'll give to you. Brother already did it. He was on YouTube.
Really?
He called the guy in the UK. He called another guy in Australia. Sydney, Australia. Both of them are friends, YouTube friends.
Okay.
He called the guy in the UK first. While he was standing there, he pointed his phone up and he said it's noon in Seattle, Washington. He called the guy, showed everything on the screen, what he was doing. The guy picked up the UK, he went out to the signs. You can see he was in the UK. You can see the sunset in the UK. Same sun he was looking at. Then he hung up just to confirm they all timed this right. It was like some weird hour of the night over there. And it was just at that point where you can start to see the sun start to get orange. He said it's sitting over him in Seattle. So he called his friend in Australia. It was a sunrise. Same day, as you was talking earlier, all in the same day. It was a day period. Sunset. It was still their day, but it was evening. Is that how it goes? Yeah. It was noon for him, and it was morning for them. The same sunlight. Now, on a globe, that's impossible. And then I posted a thing about the water. I said Europe and America. There's all kind of crevices underwater, but the surface will always remain flat. Our perspectives are off. The Most High closed our eyes. We don't get that He closed our eyes. When I realized that my eyes were closed, I opened them. So now I take everything in. There's no limitations to the Creator. We limit the Creator. We brought Him down like the Christians brought Jesus down and said, "This is your master." And He told them, "I'm not your master." "Well, you're good master." There's only one master, and He's the Father.
And you know what? Truth be told, I don't see
He
the
didn't
hurt
lie
in
about
it.
that.
I don't see the hurt in it because I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
When it comes to that light thing, what the dude said, I understand that. So it's like, you know what I'm
Just
saying?
speaking in a way that you'll get it.
No, for real, because I'm a mathematician.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if it got a globe, and I can put, you know what I'm saying, I can set it at 23 degrees. Or I can
Google
do.
Earth?
I actually do.
When you sitting in your chill time, just do Google Earth.
It'll show you the light and the dark part, right?
Yep.
Of the globe.
Do you a thing. Get the ball in there. And I did it in the truck one day. I was always doing this random shit with screwdrivers and balls and water. I was like, no, it don't matter. No matter how you turn it, the sky moves. The Most High rides upon the winds. He didn't say the earth moves under Him. The clouds move. The sky is not, the dome don't go nowhere. It's like glass. Even Ezekiel said He spoke, it was like a glass. And he got a vision, looked up in heaven, and the floor was crystal blue. There's an actual color. White people said they found a chunk fall to earth, so they said. Said it was a piece of the damn dome that fell down. There's a funny looking blue stone. It ain't that like no shit I ever seen before. Who's to say they've been shooting rockets up there? There's all kind of videos of people shooting rockets straight up there and they're hitting something. And for you to know the information, if you pay attention to NASA channels, I'm a junkie on this. If you pay attention to NASA channels, if you look at them, remember the white guy that jumped out of that hot air balloon at like 200,000 feet or something? I think 250,000 feet or something like that, he jumped. The space station flies the same height. There's only a certain height you can go. The Most High cut that off. Man think he's really trying to get beyond that dome. That's all that space exploration shit's about. They just don't want you to know. That bottom, that's foam on the bottom of the space shuttle. It's skipping across the goddamn dome. That's why it's upside down. That never dawned on you when it takes off, it goes like that? And they get to a certain feet and they sit right there, they don't change that. The last time they tried to go a little further, like they were really doing something during the Challenger, but that was a whole cover-up because all the people were still alive, except for like 2 or 3. So there was nobody in the rocket. They sent it up there to blow it up. They sold everybody an American fucking lot. That's documented too.
What?
That happened in the 80s. Space Shuttle Challenger.
No,
The people are still alive.
So I'm on some spacey shit.
They sold you alive.
Oh man, I'm on
Internet-
some Star Wars shit.
The internet killed
Oh,
their reality because people are exposed. Now you see your government's in chaos so they can't hide their bullshit no more. What did the Creator say once again? I'm going to uncover your skirt. I'm going to uncover your shame. And it's being exposed. Nigga, you've been cahooting with your enemy all this time, and who knows how long you've been doing it. It's going to expose a whole history.
But they had
Surely
to.
our fathers have inherited lies. Of course they did.
I mean, we thought that they was gonna come through soon enough and go ahead and get us up out of this captivity, but they ain't come through.
The Most High never
No,
said
but-
we would get out of here fast either. He
Yeah.
never said that. He said actually slow. He's going to drag this nation through the mud slowly. Didn't he do it with Egypt? The only reason he kind of sped that part up because the New Year was coming. The Abib was coming.
Well, what if it's?
You don't think he didn't know that before the Abib came?
I can imagine 30 years from now, Israelites being afraid because it's 4:30, and Egypt was 4. Because
It's 4:30, we ain't out of here yet. Their hearts are going to wither. What would make people's hearts? Israel give up. From the shit that's going on, the first thing that's going to make your heart wither is to realize that all them shits, them prophecies got to wear themselves out. Exhaust themselves. And then after you run out of all that shit you've been running up in your head and believing, your hopes and dreams is going to be in the toilet. Because after this 19, what do these niggas do? Now, oh no, the end of the year now. Okay, so we're gonna wait till the end of the year. Y'all still don't get it. Y'all haven't accepted your punishment because you're looking for a way out. And even on the way out, there's still gonna be punishment because he told you, you believe in the Torah, right? Yeah, I believe in the Torah. You believe in Christ too, right? Yeah, but I believe in the Torah though. Okay. Do you know the part that he said on the way out? You got to go under that rod of reproof.
Yeah.
That part.
Oh man.
So everybody getting their
But
ass
see, it
whooped.
was okay. But do you really
And that's
believe
for
though?
your sins
Okay.
that you didn't turn from.
Do you really believe though that when the New Testament brothers, the Almighty tell them it's nobody besides me, and they keep saying, but Christ. You think they gonna really do that? Or you think that the Almighty gonna at least give them an option?
Yeah, because men back then believed in many gods. They believed that he did come down sent in the flesh. There were ancient prophecies then since Babylon.
So he gonna still say, but Christ.
That's where you get all these different nations having a form of Christ and a form of Mary. They all believed in the same thing. Just like the ideology of today is Christianity, Buddha, and Islam. I mean, Christianity, yeah, well, I said Buddha. That's damn it, like Christianity. But Christianity, Islam, and Judaism.
Now I'm trying to get their books or whatever the case is. Because every time I get a false deity, I have to go in a book. But it's like, you know,
We've turned being an Israelite into a religion.
do they have a books in Buddhism?
I think they do.
Where it's like, boom, this is your doctrine, so you cannot back off this. I would
I'm
love to
quite sure
read
they
it.
do. Go to the
Ooh, it be
monastery.
some hot shit in there.
Go to the monastery. I've been to them.
Where?
This monastery's in Massachusetts. I've had talks with monks, priests. They'll be on the bus, the train. I had little beads. They met them for the first time up there in Boston. We was just walking by the aquarium. There was some monks sitting out there. And they gave me some beads.
Well, I'm just saying, do they have a particular book? Because it's like
I think
Islam.
they do, but-
It's like Islam. If you smack them with that Quran, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They fold. Like, but same thing with, that's what I'm saying. Some people, they can run. They can run everywhere.
It's a spin-off of ours. That's why it's so easy. It's obvious for you to look into the New Testament and see that they've hijacked. I showed her a couple. They literally hijacked sentences out of there and stuffed it over there. But it ain't in nobody else's book. Why did y'all take it out of there? Y'all tried to create a God for yourselves. That's why it's a God that our fathers never lived. Because he wasn't real. There was a man that lived, like Maury Alicia stood for. I believe that.
Yeah,
But that man was the man that told you to return to the Creator.
that's it.
This other guy became God, so they try to figure a way to jimmy the story. So they monkey wrench different areas of the book, and it's obvious, even though the Torah is in different time periods, so we still read it like they all lived in the same Hebrew language and all that stuff. No, there's different time periods of language change and all that. We've been totally rubbed out. We don't know who we are. And I only respect one brother that said, Israel's got amnesia. Everything is there, but it's hidden. Just like our land is hidden under sand. I said that shit years ago before I even knew I was an Israelite. I said, what the fuck's under that sand out there? I always wondered. That's our land. That's why nobody could find it. That's why nobody could find the tomb of Abraham. It's buried.
And that's glorious too, because
You think the Most High is going to let the bodies of his righteous be touched? That's why he took Moses. You go, you're going to sleep with your fathers and rise to your destiny. He told Daniel who's going to be over there with Abraham. Because Abraham was prophesied the same thing. You're going to sleep and go sleep with your fathers. They ain't dead. They're asleep. So let me go gather these bodies, these souls, so that day when I wake and they rise. That's where the New Testament stole that too. Rising out of the grave. Only the Most High can do that. But we're not capable of perceiving that. We can't handle simple shit right now. Like a tsunami or fucking earthquakes. You think we can handle the Most High? Things you can't see happening. Could you picture like they do in LA and that's this little glimpse of the earth cracking in the middle of the street? Just imagine the earth cracking in a 300-mile wide crack. Damn crack in the sky, that'll never happen. That dome is solid forever. But this earth will always change its form, and the Creator is the one who made it. The Egyptians were white. Not all of them, but a lot of them were. That's why they saw in movies the Egyptians were white.
But, not, but
Cleopatra.
come on, man. Not hey, not and all the time.
Cleopatra was.
Come on, man.
You know it.
All I'm gonna say is, you know what I'm
She
saying?
married a white man. The Egyptians were not mingle with them crackers. It was very easy for her to marry a general. That whole story is about her and how that's how they got into Egypt. Them Romans came and took over everything. Then you got Alexander coming along at some point in time shooting up shit, stealing. They said King Tut's grave was laced with gold, even the walls were lined with gold. Where is it? They're gonna have to give all that up. We didn't leave with the wealth yet.
Hey man, hey, you think Egypt was fly, man?
I think it was.
Right.
I think when Israel got there, and we had read
What?
something about the mud bricks, Israel built the mud bricks of Egypt. Who built them stone pyramids? That's what we ain't figured out yet. I think that's some European shit. I'm just saying, because it's in written. When you went to Josephus and read that said Egypt built mud pyramids, and there are mud pyramids over there, but they don't show you though. You got to go into like the History Channel where they're going, who built these mud pyramids? It must have been primates type shit. No, our fathers built them big ass mud
They
pyramids.
be saying that shit.
They be saying shit like that on History
No,
Channel.
no, oh hell no.
The forefathers like Dozier and all that stuff. Zion Lex already bunker busted Narmer and Nimrod as being the same. We're written all over Kemet. Nobody can really decode that shit. He found Jesus over there too.
What? I ain't
didn't see
see
the
that with
video?
no, I ain't see that with that Zion Lake. Let me see that,
Yo.
bruh. What is
Go
that?
on YouTube. Zion Lex has got his own YouTube page.
Yeah, damn, I want to
Y'all
put
can
that
do the
on there.
same.
I gotta remember that. At least it's on
It's
here,
him
so
at the live.
I'm gonna go ahead and rewind this shit back.
in the
Gotta see that.
historical library in New York. And he was up there teaching the class. I didn't even know he was doing lessons and teaching. So he went in this one part and he did a special video. I think Sonetta was asking him questions. He said, yeah, his name was written in Kemet. In hieroglyphs. And he read it. He said that was his name. Yo, he's getting that shit, boy.
What?
I was kind of on his ass for a minute. Cause I'm like, dude, you're a smart dude, but but he's out actually doing work, teaching. He's studying all this shit for us to understand it. I respect it.
Yeah.
I can't even
I
handle
like,
that.
yeah, I like Zion Lake. You know, like I said, all the brothers. I ain't mad at the New Testament brothers or the brothers that don't know the difference between day and night.
Just look up his name, go into his page, Zion Lex. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's Avidel Ben Levy. I don't think that's what it's under. I think it's under I am Zion Lex. You got Instagram?
Yep.
Try Instagram too. That's where I saw it.
What?
There's probably like 5-minute clips or something like that, 30, 40-second clips. He was up there dropping the jewel.
I'm saying though.
Then he dropped it on YouTube.
Okay.
So you can check Sonetta's page.
I'm subscribed to Zion Lex already though on YouTube.
Yeah,
I don't
just-
know why
just
that
go
come
through
my
his-
thing.
Go through
That's
his thing,
messed
check it
up.
out. But he
All
went up
types
there.
of stuff come on, but not Zion Lex. Like,
You gotta hit that bell.
He
He said that. He's like, yeah, they found his name. Like he was written, like about him, written in Kemet. Now I don't know if it was the man, like he was worshipped, that guy, but I think it was a significant man. I didn't get into the full thing. I didn't watch his whole video because obviously they made clips. There was more to that video, and I went down. He dropped Jews more about it. So he went right back in the same video and said, since we keep told, we don't acknowledge the Creator. So there's something more to why he was written in Kemet. But he was saying, like, damn it, that's where he was, where they got him from. I believe that. That's to me where that what's his name, Horus? I forget the name.
It's one of them little weak ass false deities. I know. I don't really get into it.
No. But there was a pantheon of gods, like even what's the little dude's name? I forget his short name.
They was doing all
But he was talking about the pantheon and all that, and that's what they worship in the
Nazi.
Greek.
Hey, did you see him against SETI? That was
Who's that?
that was a good presentation. Nazi, the
Ghost?
one with Goshen, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was you know what I'm saying? Because he was going in there showing they even doing pedophilia, all types of crazy stuff with their gods.
They
What?
deny and say that's not true. I'm not going to say it is true.
What?
I
Okay.
did get into it with a brother because I said, this is an African. This is an African I know. He's from Gambia.
So that was not in the books. The heathen mistranslate? Is that what they saying? What are they trying to say?
In what book? The Bible?
I guess No, I'm talking about when Nazi went to the Egyptian
Oh, okay.
scrolls and seen a bunch of sodomite stuff, bunch of just foolishness though.
I don't think they're gonna mistranslate that, and why would they write books about that if it didn't happen? I mean, we see an African with his face in a cow's ass. And that's what I said in the video, and that brother got mad. I said, well, goddamn, somebody over there in National Geographic took a picture of this boy with his head in the cow's ass. How you gonna get mad at that?
Wait,
He wouldn't fuck with me for just now. He wouldn't fuck with me for a minute. Then all of a sudden, he was flagging me down when I drove by my truck one day. Hey, brother, I miss you. Do you? Because the last time we hollered, I made a comment about what y'all do over there. And obviously, he was wearing a shirt. So the nigga was domesticated with his head in the fucking cow's ass. They still got the rituals that they don't ever want to talk about, poking a cow in the neck and drinking the blood. That still goes on because they
But
still
see-
keep traditions.
but see, okay, but
They've been
you gotta go through the
Europeanized.
psychiatry of it. You said they were European, right?
Yeah.
They probably the same ones they done gave all them vaccinations to. Probably all of them got. You know what I'm saying? The ones that give them rice and beans to.
Mm-hmm.
So I could. Only reason I can understand where you coming from because like, yeah, you know how the heathen fuck us up.
Right.
Cause that scene, like, you got one of them shirts, like one of the shirts from, from the place we didn't gave away. You know what I'm saying? That's what little he had on when he did it. Cause I seen the same clip.
They came
When
in
he
like
was
this,
kissing
you
the
know,
booty.
Shaka
And
Zulu,
yeah.
okay, King Shaka. Would you like some weapons?
Man, you know what? Ain't no way that's an African tradition, bro. They were clean, bro. No,
They
listen.
learned a lot of stuff I found out from our practices.
At least
while we
cleaner
were
than the
going
heathen.
astray.
They ain't not that.
But
They
you
ain't not
remember,
that dirty.
Sodom learned their ways from us.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He said we were doing worse than she was doing. So all these nations virtually learned some form of foolishness from us. We have to take the span of time that we've been living outside of Israel and other people's lands, corrupting it. Look how we are in America. We've conditioned the whole goddamn earth and hip hop and everything else. Now the whole earth is walking around with fat asses and doing all kind of stupid shit that we do, thinking they're us and replacing us. Just imagine what it was like 2,000 years ago and what kind of people we were.
But you know what?
We was running them up.
Well, see, also I want to put this out here, bro. It's for somebody to think it's okay to suck on a cow's butt. There got to be a captor that made that tradition up. I don't give a fuck.
Was that a Canaanite practice?
I don't think so, bro.
Because they were
I'm
doing
not gonna put it-
abominable practices in his land. It's
Okay,
in the
well,
Torah.
that's just.
Other
It's
than
like
that,
who
they were
thinks about
worshiping
that?
another god.
Like,
They were calling him by the name of devils, so to say, or demons. They were doing all kinds of foolish things up there in the land of Canaan. Me and her was talking about it last night about where Abraham, the Most High, gave him that 400-year prophecy. He was in Canaan. That place where he buried him, Hanan or something like that. That was in North Canaan. And he gave them that. He said they're going to come right back here to this land until the time of the Amorites be fulfilled. Now we, as the wise men of today, are supposed to do our researching. We know everything about the scriptures. We don't know who the fuck the Amorites are. That's a problem. That's one of the red flags. That's a red flag, a beacon saying, okay, this gives us a sign to say, okay, where are we at in the scriptures, like I said down there? Do we know where we are? Because we're written in here somewhere, just where? What should we really be looking for? Are we wasting the last 80 years looking for false hopes and tainted signs? Because you know they're all out there. Those are stumbling blocks too. I set before you stumbling blocks, as the Creator said. We can't take those back and act like they don't exist. They're always there. You wake up in the morning, you had a stumbling block, didn't you? When you done some shit in your personal life.
yeah.
I hit stumbling blocks. She hit stumbling blocks. That's what we got to walk through. The Most High is the only one that could take this shit off our back. And he said it. Can't no man come take what I put on you off. You suffer from a grave sickness. That's how he worded in the scriptures, that no man can take off you. Christ can never, ever, 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 ever die for you or me. Every man since you've been walking this earth has died from the dumb shit he did. Right or wrong.
Yeah.
Ass talk.
That's definitely.
And you're a witness to that. Did the book not say you're a witness? So how anybody can sit up here and deny what's written in that book when they're supposed to be a witness to what's in it? They ain't read. They study.
And you know what? And it's like wickedness too. It's like you talk, and that's one thing about the New Testament brothers. They always want to hit you with that. So it's nothing that can intercede for you if you just slap that one, you slap that old lady down to the ground. It's nobody that can intercede for you right now. Like,
Nope.
well, regardless, it's like no, you gotta pay for your actions.
You know
Like
what's
you
going to
can't.
intercede for you? Your accountability. When you acknowledge you're wrong. And then you got to go to the
Yeah.
priest and make
Yeah, yeah.
expiation on that blood that you spilled because it's required of you. Was it done in malice? Was it an accident? We got to consider all those things. If that's in the law. That's what we got to ask Israel. Are you really keeping the law? Or are you assuming the law? 90% of Israel is assuming their way through this walk that they know and they keep the law. And it's impossible for you to do it. We
Right,
cannot
right,
atone
right,
for
right,
our
right.
sins the way the Most High at that time told us. I didn't expect you to sit over here and kill shit for me. But if you're going to do it, this is how you got to do it.
Right.
Now, today, we can't give no lamb, no shit like that. So what does he want?
And you know what? What you saying? What it told me was you need to read more. Cause I could
Swipe in the air. All right, fine.
Because really, when we talk about people walking and assuming the law, truth be told, yeah, I may have read through it or whatever the case is, but it's a constant walk with the Almighty.
Right.
If you ain't
Day
reading
and
constantly
night, when you lie down, when you
with
get
the
up,
Almighty,
He's
yeah,
supposed to be ever present in your mind. That's going to keep you from straying off the path. You take your mind out the Most High one moment, get your little ass. You ain't thinking about the Creator, are you? You think about every vile thing you can do to that ass, correct? That is not holy. But when you're done, you come back to your righteous mind after you take a nap. A woman too. Then y'all get up in the morning and look at each other. You better not say nothing to nobody. But in a way, I mean, that's,
yeah, bro.
we are walking in defilement. We can never say we have cleansed ourselves because the land and the food that we eat is defiled. Even the clean things that we think is organic and holy is defiled because the land is defiled. Just like I told her in there. We spread shit on our food. Didn't the Most High say you eat the shit from the ground? You eat shit? You eat dung of the earth? That's them spreading shit in cornfields throughout the thousands of acres of the United States and growing the shit that you eat, thinking you're vegan. Thinking you're eating you some greens. You eat some goddamn greens, all right? They're GMO greens, genetically modified by cow shit. When you get back to the land, and anybody that knows anything about earth science or botany knows that I got told them in there too, and they'll get that in their science that worms fertilize the earth. That's why anybody knows it's good to have worms in the yard. That makes the yard rich. Plus, you can eat them worms. Sir, you can take them to go fishing. That's what we did. We forgot. We are farmers. We are farmers. Dum 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 dum. And the lights still don't go on. Y'all been sending signs and Israel too busy. Man, you know what I'm saying? The 400 years, man, I'm trying to get out of here. Shit. Why rush? A lot of our fathers died in captivity and they were still righteous. The question is, how are you walking in your affliction? Quit being so concerned with getting the fuck out of here and worry about how your walk is, because your daily walk is what the Most High is judging.
Yeah.
Not how fast you get the fuck out of here.
Nah.
Your
You
race
ain't
is
getting out of here if your walk ain't right anyway.
He's long suffering, but we got to endure this. And he ain't gonna put none of this New Testament. He ain't gonna put too much on you that you can't handle. He gives his discipline in measure. When he opens his wrath, he understands. I can't kill all of you.
And you know what's crazy about when I talk to people in the New Testament? It's like I'm coming from a place of love. So it's like they want to argue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want, well, you don't believe in the Messiah? Well, what did the Messiah do that he ever sinned? I'm like, yes, many times.
That's
Like,
the same spirit
it's like-
that they had in the New Testament during the time of Paul. And they were trying to kill his ass for out there speaking that bullshit. Them priests, them high priests was not having that. This nigga come in with that reckless shit, serve Christ. Who the fuck is he? The book says Hashem, so they say. Who's this man? They got rid of his ass quick, didn't they? Did not the Most High allow that? Everything that goes on earth, the Most High allows. He can disavow our vows too, can he not? We've gone out and made vows and everything, didn't we? With Christianity, all kind of shit, didn't we? We laid in the bed. But he let us go this time before he disavowed our vow when he took us back in love. When we was in the land of Egypt, out there in the wilderness, he had compassion on the young to go into the land. Because I promised your father they would dwell upon this soil. But then they went astray. Now we ain't gonna have too many brothers teaching. Everybody's gonna have to get their understanding right. It ain't about what you know.
Let me see what some of these things saying, man.
It's how you live what you know.
It said the brother said that you know what I'm saying. There's no space, outer spaces, sun, moon, and stars are in the firmament of the heaven.
That's right.
Okay, that's the truth. And he said, Yoruba being said Amorites are the Japanese.
I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't. I appreciate the response too.
Okay,
I
and
really appreciate that. Because that'll give me something else to really look into. Because I never considered them, but I know they're a part of this whole thing.
take a bath or shower from the city water reservoir. Are you clean at sunset?
No, we'll never be clean because the water's defiled. If you understand how the water system works,
Yeah.
water goes into a big basin. There's no filters. They go through pumps and shit like that. And then they clean. I've picked up in Chicago's water treatment plant. Anybody up there living on Cicero know where I'm talking about. There's big tanks of water sitting out there and they separate the waste. I've hauled the waste back to a fertilizer plant. This is human waste back to the fertilizer plant. That water falls into a basin and they'll separate the water, go down there and let it dry out. And they'll bring it through dryers. This is human waste. All the shit that settles. Just like the average person, you go in the bathroom, you look in the toilet, it drops to the bottom. But it goes through different stages. And then all of a sudden what's left that remains on the surface comes right on out. And then that may go through a separation process when it gets into those big pumps. Then it comes to your water system because that's what those are, pumps.
Well, you know, I definitely know a lot about that. I got my degree in water treatment. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Man. So, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, you do that.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
speaking to
yeah.
the choir.
Yeah, yeah. So I know a little bit about that. You know what I mean? And that's, you know,
Unless it's changed.
The water is not clean for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? One thing about water is it's many different type of pollutions you can get. You know, you got the chemical pollution, like, you know, you got too much lead, or you got then you got microorganisms polluting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Some algae is good, but some's not.
yeah. So like bacteria, viruses, protozoa, different, or even you know what I'm saying?
We need to do some experiments so Israel can see even how to filter water and shit like that. Get moss, stone, sand, dirt. Pretty much the elements of the ground is what you use to filter the water. I know peat moss is one of those things you gotta have.
But it's also another way of getting the water unclean. They got the microorganism. They got the thing. They also got like something that evaporates quick, like alcohol.
Right.
That type of substance can be inside the water too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Where
I know you
it's
think
not
that.
it's not a chemical more than it is like it's definitely a chemical, but it's not flammable like those particular substances I'm talking about.
You wanna do some Hebrew troubleshooting shows? Just dig into different things and just like different shit. One day out here growing some shit, then the next minute trying out a scientific project that's even tapping into what's in your mind with water and how we can deal with growing in minerals as far as so Israel can see it, because a lot of our people didn't pay attention to science. I'm a science junkie, but you're a know-how when it comes to that. When it comes to other shit mechanical, I'm probably a know-it-all in that, but then you have a little tech know-how behind that. Or
No,
just
one-
understand it.
Well, one thing about it,
Bring something
yeah,
interesting.
I definitely should cultivate what the knowledge that was given to me. But you know what I'm saying, what I think all of every Israelite is going to be in agreement with, and that's what I want to stick with, is keeping the laws.
This
Talking
is why
about
they
the
keep
laws. Yeah.
Because it'll be based around the laws.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As long as you know what I'm saying, people learning the laws,
But
and that's what's up.
be careful when you say the laws, because you also got to be mindful of statutes, judgments, not just precepts. But we still got to understand the civil
I'm gonna have to
side.
put this back on. Like it's 4 people watching, but hold on now.
It might be 4 people, but they're not in the video. 4 people came into, but on the outside it might be more. Because you can watch a damn YouTube in your notifications and hear it,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like Facebook.
Oh no, it's cool. Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying. When it comes to the go, like like for real, I
Four
got.
people is cool to me.
That's what I'm saying. I used to have like a
What's more? But somebody's listening.
no, like I used to
I'm so happy, man. My
say what?
life is good. That shit be stressed out, boy. I be struggling to keep my CDL. But that's part of the curses too. I just look at everything that I trouble. I think I've been through the same thing already, and I've learned a little bit from my mistakes. I didn't learn from all of them. But one of them was just not paying attention to what I was doing. It said be sober minded. Even though we get like this, but I had to realize that, you know what, even when I'm smoking or even drinking, I'm still in my right mind
Yeah.
when I make the choices I make.
Yeah.
I can't stand before the Most High and say the alcohol made me do it, because he know me better than I know me. He's gonna be like, the bullshit.
Yeah, you bullshit. You drunk as much alcohol so you can start, so you can do the fuck you want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what the case with me. Shit, like, he knows you didn't hit that many times because you want
Right.
to do some stupid shit.
And me knowing that and knowing
Stupid shit.
and me knowing that and knowing better, I have no choice but to change something about my perspectives in this walk and how I deal with it. Nasi said something that was important to me in Georgia. There are things that you know that I can never perceive. And he's like, that's such a fact. And I'm like, man, you give me credit. He's like, there's things that I know that you probably can only fathom. And I was like, you know what, you're right. Because I'm always intrigued with what be going on in your brain when you be teaching. I'm interested in what you teach. And it's cool. He's like, so either way, we're the same yet different, but we got to find balance with the Torah. I said, that makes sense. You asked me earlier about how do we get the brothers together. And I said something real fast, and I said, you got to figure out where you are on this walk. The Creator said, all those men of Israel, during that battle, we was talking about, he took the 300. You said it real fast. You said, those that brought the water, the face of the water, send them back.
Yeah. No, I think it was because it was like the people they had a bunch of tests, but I think the ones that actually did do that. And I remember them talking about it. 'Cause I remember, you go to Sabbath class enough times. Every different story, it's like a memory.
Right.
So it's a memory. I remember, like, man, the woman that went down like a dog. He said, y'all gonna kill everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember that stuff. Like, it was funny. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah. Well, the ones that go to the water, and then the ones who do this, like the ones who did the most crazy little thing, went down.
Right. Laughed it up like
Yeah,
a dog,
yeah,
send them
yeah,
back and let
yeah.
them be protectors of the city.
No, I think they was one that murked everybody. I think they the one that murked everybody. I may be quoting it wrong, but I can remember. I think that was the one that murked everybody because they made a joke out of the fact that they did that crazy stuff and they was the one chose to kill everybody. You know, I remember that. I remember that part.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, I need to check it out. I
But he
think
said, for
the
those
ones. Wait. Let me.
for those
dang.
men,
It's right
not
here on
that
my.
it's not because of you that you're winning this battle. It's because of me. But it's more or less the iniquity that they're doing upon my land. In the state of awareness that we're in right now, do you think that we will be able to sustain the land of Israel right fucking now? Since everybody want to be spared and everybody's Mr. Superfly and Kick-Ass, every camp on earth that's a fucking camp, do you think that they are ready to go over there and rule in Israel?
Well, what I would say is this: if the heathen just let us go, threw us back in the land right now, I think.
Did it not say that we're going to be attacked even when we get back home? There's a nation that's coming he's going to put it in their mind to go attack them people. The city of the unwalled people. Who's that? Israel. So niggas thinking the shit's over. When you get back home, the shit's going to be on again. And you just made an excellent point. They ain't going to give up that easy. We thinking, oh, the Most High going to step in and he going to say, oh yeah, he going to do that. But you already know where their mind is. This land's going to be wiped out. But you still got to deal with them motherfuckers over there in that land. Everybody going to flee to their own land. Because it said that all these nations going to flee back to their own land for us to be able to go dwell in our land. But the Most High got to clean it. Because you ain't going back unholy and defiled and wearing them defiled shoes and with this defiled mind. He said those wise men I'm going to point over, he's going to teach you my true way. On your way, you're going to learn this. And when you get there, the city's already going to be ready. All you got to do is live in it. Somebody built it. But who? The land's going to yield it. Maybe we will be living in tents again. But who cares? Would it really matter? That gold won't matter. That silver won't matter. Because you're going back to a place of beginning.
That's why I wish I had my sword with me, man, because I think it was in Ezekiel. What?
You need mine? You need yours. You probably
You
got
got yours
markers
right?
in it. Mine's in there on the table. My Torah. It might be a little backwards.
Yeah, no. They was talking about Ezekiel where it talks about the water, the clean water issuing out from under the.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
He's going to heal you. Something's going to happen where your body, all that sickness and shit you got, is going to be gone.
oh man,
And you're going to live like the days
these
of the
baths is
cedars.
polluted. But if I get a bath,
And you're just talking about the bathroom. So I'm just saying. When you get back over there, and he said, once you live like the cedars, you'll have an age like the cedar. That's 800, damn near 1,000 years old again. You will enjoy your grandchildren running through the streets. We will
What?
see all that.
what?
It says it in there.
I know, but
We got to get there. We ain't thinking, man, my mind is there.
that
Fuck all this other shit. This country can crack open. I'm over here focused on the creator. Nah, brother, don't do that. Come on, let's go. Man, walking, where you going? We going to see the Most High. Well, come on. And
You
get
know
your
what's
kids
crazy?
too. Let's go.
I talked to a messianic dude. And that's one of the first things you want to say. When two brothers don't agree, we can be cordial, but and I was thinking to myself, I was really thinking to myself, like they put it in him to be adversarial.
Right.
Like you don't
Yes.
have. It's no reason to say, oh, because somebody got differences, I can just be cordial with them.
What-
No, you got differences with your mama. You just gonna be cordial with her. You know what I'm saying? Your mama, most people, mama's Christians or something.
You still cordial with her?
I understand cordial, but what I'm saying is,
You still
you're supposed to
respect
love.
her?
You're supposed to love your brother too. You know what I'm saying? Say for instance, your blood brother.
Let a brother
My
slap
blood
you.
brother's not an Israelite.
Let brother slap your mom. All that shit you were talking, that's my mom, nigga.
Yeah.
But she wasn't your mom a minute ago. Fuck that bitch is what she was a minute ago, right? Pick a struggle.
I think people just they want to have a reason to be at odds with one another. They want to have a reason, like okay,
It's not a
because
reason.
you have a different. Because if
He
I
closed the eyes of many, and ignorance is leading their path.
like he's New Testament, I didn't even tell him I was Old Testament on it. The whole time I never even mentioned it. I was just talking about the scriptures, talking about the law. I didn't have to mention it.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't mention it. I didn't have to mention it. But even when he was talking, I was talking to him about how that brother was from the Sons of Thunder, and he was from IUIC.
Okay.
So he was telling me like, man, if we got differences, I mean, we can be cordial, but I don't think we're gonna be able to. I'm like, y'all both New Testament brothers, and you telling me
Shalom, y'all.
they both New Testament brothers, and they telling me, you know what I'm saying, that they can't. Oh, I already know. I mean, be cordial, but I really can't talk to them like that. That's division off top. It's division on top of your head.
Peep this though.
That's
Do we think it
crazy.
was all white people that was grabbing Israel saying we want to go to the people of Yah? Would you not consider it was your own brothers that denied the Most High and served the idol?
Oh, I already know.
That alone, to find out your idol's not coming back, will crush your spirit. But something will be in you to get up because you know the Torah. And they will still call you to come towards the Creator. And these brothers know that you know the way. Nobody knows the way, but the Most High will put it in your mind to know. That's why nobody can think. That's why all that strategizing and plotting. No, learn how to live. A man's portion is to live and enjoy his family. We too busy worried about everything else and we forgot about living. We think living is earning a living, but it's not. That's earning a struggle. Because we struggle in that living.
Nah, I was thinking to myself, you got your woman jumping. I don't know. It's like she paid, all maybe I say that right.
No,
but it's like, you know what I'm saying? But I was thinking, man, maybe I should just.
we got to pick a struggle as Israel. One minute we want to be blessed, the next minute we claim we cursed. How you living? What? How you living? And live in color. Really? Maybe you should keep it simple and black and white.
But like I said, I'm hoping to get like a little father thing going. Like he said, Malachi, return the hearts of the fathers back to the children, the hearts of the children back to the fathers.
This is a fatherhood thing going on right now. Two sons of the Creator that are fathers bearing witness to the Most High.
But that's what I'm saying. It's simple. It's simple. You just have two brothers. Let's say we want to get more brothers to be able to,
Right.
communicate and things of that nature. And that's the whole thing about it. It's like, man, when more brothers get together, then they can defend each other even with being fathers. 'Cause that's a
You know
real
who your
big
kid is.
responsibility. And not only a responsibility, but it's a blessing. You get to teach a lot of stuff.
It's a responsibility
It's definitely a
for
big
men to get
responsibility.
up and come sit amongst their brothers and set aside their differences. We always bring differences no matter where we go. We don't know how to be a people of indifference. We're supposed to be a people of peace, a modest people. We don't sit on both sides of the fence. So when you made a statement about the Republicans and the Democrats, we don't sit on both sides of the table. We stand in the middle where truth is. Both sides of the table got emotions and all kind of shit flying. Truth has no emotions. It is either accepted or hated or rejected. You are supposed to be truth, dividing the lie, standing and correcting the crookedness of this land. You are the eyes that the Most High uses.
You know what? That's why I'm so mad.
Your soul is what He requires to dwell in. Your mind, your temple, your mind. Your temple is your mind. That's the throne that He sits on and dwells and occupies your mind. But if you don't read about Him or study or meditate on Him, how can something come into your mind unless you give it the time? We prey on devils and the dead things of life, but we never give thought to life. And what is life? The Torah. Who is in the Torah? You and the Most High. You just got to read about yourself. Here, read all about it. Extra. There's a whole nother chapter in there. That's why people say every time they open the book and read about it, they read something totally new. It's like, I just read this. I didn't notice that. And you can read that book 5 times, and it's damn near going to be new 5 times.
Yeah. And that's why it's good to have a lot of counsel.
That's why it's organic and it's alive to those who see it. Everybody else is just a book. It's just in black and white. His servants see visions when they read.
But that's the whole thing about the understanding. The
Right.
understanding
Things
is
make
when
sense.
you understand it because you walk it. That's why I'm saying somebody without wisdom, but they have. If you don't have, okay, for instance, you can have wisdom but do not have understanding. Meaning you
True.
can know the right thing to do. That's the wisdom. You know right from wrong.
True.
But the understanding is when you do the right thing.
Right.
Because you don't understand if you
How did you apply
know,
the know?
if you know it but you didn't do it, then you don't really understand. Like I say, when you know you shouldn't eat that because you know the additive is they add lard to it. But you know it.
You said, I understand how to drive a truck. I understand how to do it. Do you understand how to live the Torah?
Yeah, okay, like for instance, you just talking about drive, right? You understand how to drive, right? So some people can know, I mean, they can read the whole book,
Right.
and never did it before.
Right. They knowledgeable.
Yeah, so they even got the wisdom because they know they got to pull this and then
No.
do this and
They're
that.
knowledgeable because wisdom is experience in order for you
Oh.
to be wise.
No. Okay. This is how I got it. This is how. Okay, knowledge is is an instruction, but wisdom is okay. For if you get in a situation, which you got, wisdom is to know what to do before, what I'm saying. But it's actually doing is the understanding. But wisdom is knowing this is what you're supposed to do. But
Okay.
understanding is actually doing the right thing. Because you could know it all day. You could know, man, I'm not supposed to do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got wisdom. You know, you wise. Even somebody who evil can do the wrong thing can have wisdom. That's when people get messed up. They say, well, how you gonna tell me anything if you doing this? Well, you can have wisdom, but does he understand? Because only way you can really truly understand right from wrong is if you do right. You cannot understand.
Well,
if you're doing wrong, you can't understand. You don't understand. But if
Well,
you if you understood, you would do right.
You smacking a person in the face as an infant, is that right or wrong?
I don't understand it. That's just like what it said in Ezekiel.
But what make a kid understand it when he's 2 years old? Discipline. Discipline is correction. We don't see the life in our correction. When somebody tells you, nah, brother, don't do that, that's discipline. First of all, that's being a watchman over that brother and preserving your life because he might kill himself. There's all kind of Torah in that one sense. That's why you're supposed to be mindful all day, every day,
Yeah.
even in your driving. We occupy our mind with everything else. We take that void. It ain't void. It's dealing with the Most High. We ain't trying to do that. So we turn the radio on,
Yeah, TV, what is it?
We
Movie.
watch videos all day. I ain't trying to deal with you, Father, not today. Because you're going to have me here crying, you're going to have me upset or mad or something like that, and we ain't trying to get to that place.
Or uncomfortable, basically.
Right.
Not even.
That means you got to change. Because you're going to tell you to do something about yourself. You got to change. You know your ass ain't lazy. Get up. Go tend to them children in there. Even as a man, they tell you to do that. Get up and go in there and be a father. Now, the question was, have the hearts of the fathers been turned back to their children yet? No. But is that one to turn their hearts here yet? Probably.
Well,
But is
what I
anybody
would say,
listening?
okay, what I would say about that is this. Even when we talk about who was going to be the one to build the temple, because of course, that's what I thought my son going to do. I hope he still do. I know the heathens going to try to stop him with them weak ass fucking shots. Oh man, it hurts my soul.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
they have to be born at one time and then grow up.
Right.
So that's the same instance when we talk about, who are these people that are going to do this. You know what I mean?
Well, just like the Most High told David, you might not build the temple, but your son will do it. That wasn't a promise that we were given.
Yeah.
So we might have to stop looking for the empty promises because we create promises that were never given. And that changes our hope and our expectations of what the Creator should be giving us. And then we find out later on down the road that we've been let down by the Creator, or was it our misunderstanding?
I want to throw this out here. Remember Ezekiel 44 and 45? That's where I got my middle name from, Zadok.
Zadok.
Yeah, I got my middle name from that a long time ago. And I said, I changed my name in 2012 or whatever the case is, when I changed my name. But I made sure to get my middle name to be Zadok because the sons of Zadok are going to be in that temple.
Right.
That was promised.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that. That's why I like the tribe of Levi.
Now, you named yourself that. I'm going to ask you a question or two. What about Zadok do you see in you?
Well, only thing
Not
I would
what you
say,
aspire to be, but what you are.
what I am. What I would say is that I was never, I knew for a fact that I was made for, not for like to be up front, like not to be out like that. So I never would thought, okay, I'll be haughty enough to be the king or the prince or even part of Judah.
Okay.
Now, I never thought that, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to be the kings, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I would never thought that because I just know me, for instance. So so I always thought the priesthood, you know what I'm saying? Because I just thought like, man, I don't, I feel like,
Do you desire the Torah?
yeah, I desire like,
Is it burdensome?
no, it should be, huh? It's not really
You
burdensome.
said it shouldn't be a burdensome thing unto
Nah,
you.
it ain't. It's
It should be a light unto your feet.
yeah. Well, I'm about to describe it as a sword.
That yeah, but I mean, once again, we go to the time and the place for everything.
No, but no, 'cause no. What I would say like this. I would say like this. Okay, somebody would test my self-esteem. This was my self-esteem too. It was for me to mentally chop your head off without saying a word to you. You know what I'm saying? You can say to yourself,
Listen,
"You
who that
better."
happened? Who's the prophet sitting up on the hill and the men kept coming close and they were falling dead because they were scared shitless? And then one actually, oh king, please don't have us killed. Who was that? Was it Elijah? When all these kings and his generals kept showing up trying to summon him to come back, and I think it was 3 sets of them, they ended up dying. They didn't know how to approach him. Then the last one approached him, and they knew how to approach him, and he finally got him to come down. I'm going to find that too. That's the point. Now, I don't remember the scripture of what page it's on.
No, but I think about the scriptures, like it's a self-esteem because, at the end of the day, the Almighty take out who He want to take out. He had mercy who He want to have mercy on, and He's a judge.
Has He had mercy on you? How many times?
Yeah. 7 times 7 times 7 times 7.
Thank you. You're the only person that got it right. Just keep
And probably a little bit
yourself.
more than that, for real.
Right.
Times another 7. Shit.
So, at the end of the day, did He not say there's certain people in the Torah that we shouldn't pray for anymore?
We shouldn't pray for it anymore?
Yep. This manner of people, if you praying to Him, He won't hear them prayers. It's how they were dealing with Him. They disregarded him, so they disregard their prayers. We still trying to be Captain Save a hole. We need saving. Some people were meant to get their ass whipped by the Creator. Not everybody.
You know what? You know what? I hear that the Messianics always bring that up when every time I talk to them.
Hmm.
They always bring up the fact that 2/3 of us they're gonna be dead. Nah, I'm not saying 2/3 they's meant to die. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know. Maybe because I'm one of them people that is like, I know all Israel ain't gonna make it. All right, no, I'm not one of the people that believe that all Israel going, Almighty gonna take.
Hmm.
But at the same time, though, what do you call it? I'm a family man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they Israelites, so why you dogging your people? I know you mad at them. I know we in captivity. I don't even.
But
That's why we act this way
if we would
towards each
stayed
other.
over there in the land, he would have had to kill us. There's no way around that. He killed our fathers.
Yeah, that's the only reason they alive today is they around this
So
way.
their children, which are our fathers, they walked right and he spared some. Now think about how many he spared. It was the children. Now how many children in Israel and the United States alone, and you start to really narrow that fucking number down. Because there's some evil children amongst all the children. So if there's how many black people in this country? Let's say there's 12 billion. Let's say there's 10 billion. I don't even think it's that many. Let's say there's 5 billion. Out of that 5, you narrow that shit down to maybe a million. Separating the clean from the unclean, those that turned their back, all these different facets of people that he's plucking the fuck off because I'm sifting out the righteous. The question is how you living? What? How you living? They live in color, right? Is the Torah made in color or is it still in black and white? But Michael told you it doesn't matter if it's black or white. It does. You in the matrix or you outside. They made things fair seeming to a man, but in the end are the ways of death. You got to think about it.
Yeah, man. Also, that flat Earth thing.
This
that
is
blew
their
my
heaven,
mind.
and we've been deceived.
I'm gonna tell you right now. That blew my mind. I'm not even gonna go against it. What I will tell you is, I'm still gonna believe the shit I believe. That shit threw me for a spin. Like,
Like, okay, where am I?
it's
Going?
like really okay, yeah. So, because if you add, like I said, if you have a globe and you have the sun at an angle, and it hit half the globe, I could do math, and then okay, if you here at the globe and you here at the globe, and then if it's 12 here and it's 2 here.
Look at the sun. Come on, let's take a little scroll real fast. You can bring your phone, bro, so they can see it. That's why I love this backyard. See where that's at?
Yeah.
Which way is that?
I'm trying to down. They said, which way is that?
Yep. That sun's right across here.
Yeah.
Moon right across here the same way too every night. Clear sky. You see everything. The sun is sitting at a certain level, but obviously when you see that the sun is sitting where it is,
Yeah.
there's blue obviously behind it.
Okay.
There's no way in hell that blue is sitting anywhere in front of the sun. There'll be a hue change in the color. When that sun's sitting over that's blazing the shit out of your skin, ain't nothing blocking that like it's some mirror sitting there that's tinted. You see the actual sun blazing above your head. That sun sits above a layer of water. How the Most High made it, that's what he knows. We on earth, things are made for men on earth is made for us on earth. His understanding is everything up there. He created that up there too. We wasn't up there. Reason he got, Job got checked, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's get back to it. Who measured that distance and how far do they know it is? We can guesstimate. But the white man went up
Yeah.
200,000. The moon still looked like it was another 300 miles up in the sky.
You know what's crazy? Elijah Muhammad got a number for that shit in the Supreme Wisdom of Elijah Muhammad. Man, I read that bullshit. It was like, in fact, RZA say it a couple times in some of his songs.
He got a show, like a history show.
Really?
He go around talking to different people and different high tech and science and different things.
The RZA?
Yep.
What?
Check it out. Like just Google like RZA and science. He said he's a science junkie. I'm serious. Our brothers out here doing weird things. You be like, damn, this nigga rap hardcore rapping, but they be into some other shit. See how that changed? That's clouds just passing right by. Now, if the sun was
Yeah,
a
that
million
shit
miles in
bright.
space, there wouldn't be no shade behind them clouds. That sun is not far. When people can tell me how you can round the surface of this earth, I'll believe. And one thing I need to know, somebody that's south of the equator, I want them to tell me which direction their compass points when they pull it out. I bet you it'll point north.
South of the
If
equator.
you south of the equator, so if you in Brazil, something like that, if you in Africa, south of the equator, Congo, and anything south like that,
Yeah.
if you in Australia, certain places I think in Australia, your compass should point north. Nobody has tried that test. I wonder why. It's gonna give away a big ass secret. Magnetic north only. Something's up there. That's what make me question where Eden is. Because the Most High placed Adam in Eden, and when he got mad, he kicked him out. And he had to circle the earth, and he's wandering in circles in the earth. Never to return back to the garden, which was in the center, hidden by what? Ice. So the white people say. They say there was nothing but ice up there, but there's land up there. That's where you see all the swirls around it. There's an energy or something going on up there that they ain't even figured out. They call it magnetic field. No, there's something else going on. We lost sight. Our ancients knew what it was. We too busy looking over here and focusing on just that. Like the Egyptians are worshiping the sun. I said I made one. I made a great one and a lesson. You see that going by every day. All of a sudden now, two of them showed up. Wouldn't it be something miraculous if two suns just showed up?
Yeah, that'd be some shit. Like one of them going down, one of them coming up. That'd be some
Mama,
bull.
you coming back inside?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to come outside.
Yeah, all these things is relevant,
Mama.
man.
Let me cut this
Get a
off.
little darker, you'll see the moon come trailing behind. The so-called Venus, all sitting up there in water.
I'm gonna go
We
ahead
call
and
them
cut this one
illuminaries.
off.
They're just lights.
Self-esteem, okay.